everyone, and welcome to a very jam-packed episode of Get Sweaty. I am, as my title says, not Christian Harloff. I am Matt Majot, a.k.a. Soda, joined as always by Ben and Jordan. And today we've got some very special people joining us. First off, we have Peggy from Chicago, correct?
Hey.
And we have our resident editor, 50 Shades of Geek. And we have a very special person joining us today, our fourth host, none other than Saul. How you guys all doing?
Hey guys, how are you?
I'm awake.
Yep.
You're
hanging
awake.
in there.
Yeah, what time is it for you over there, 50?
It's past midnight.
Oh, that's right.
Ooh, yeah, that time
Yeah.
difference. Ouch.
Yeah,
It's 5 o'clock for me.
I just woke up from a nap.
Yeah, it's also 12 o'clock for me, but the other 12 o'clock.
Yep.
So it's been easy to categorize you as a night owl then.
Night owl, day owl. I don't really sleep too much anymore.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, Ben, did you get a haircut?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Welcome to the bald team.
Yeah.
I think I'm due for one next. But my hair's getting
Okay.
way longer than I like it, even though it's not that
According
long.
to the law,
I like it short.
haircut, you guys need a good slap on the back of the neck right now, right? Or is it just me?
Maybe so.
Okay, so we because we've jam-packed, we might as well just hop right into it. Jordan, you want to take us away with the entertainment news, please?
Yeah, let's do it. So we're gonna kick things off with the news. We got about Tatiana Maslany. She's denying that she was cast as the She-Hulk, which she was speaking to to some kind of news outlet. They call it the Sudbury Star. I just want to give them credit, but and her exact quote was it says that actually isn't a real thing, and it's like a press release that's gotten out of hand, says Maslany. It's totally not. I've been connected to these things in the past, and press has gotten onto it, but it's not actually a thing. Unfortunately, I don't know how these things get. I don't know. You know better. I have no idea. And she kind of just laughed it off. And I believe that's probably like British, because she lives over in that part of the world. So that's a British news outlet. So yeah, for me, like, I just find this news really weird, because it was all but confirmed by Marvel themselves. I mean, I am not sure if it was actually officially confirmed. I can't quite 100% remember, but I know that there's a tweet that came out from Mark Ruffalo that said, "Welcome to the team, cuz," and then all the big news outlets reported on it, and then now we get this news. So I'll just kind of go around the horn, get you guys' thought. Maybe start with Ben. What are your thoughts on this news?
I don't know. I don't know if I believe her, but I don't know. It's confusing. Like, she was, we think she was Hulk, America, but I really don't know what to think. Hopefully she'll continue. Hopefully it will work out. But I don't think she's going to be in it. I don't know who is, but it's weird. I don't think she's. I don't know.
Here, can I jump in here for just a
Yeah.
second, Jordan?
Yeah.
Here's what the thing. I think this is a complete negotiating tactic by Tatiana Maslany and her agent and her team, or whatever she has going on behind her. She is a fantastic actress. Everyone freaked out when they heard her being attached to this project. And I don't think anyone's signed on the dotted line yet. And because of that, they're using this as a negotiating tactic. Like, oh, yeah, I don't know if that's actually a true story. That way she can work herself into a better deal. That's my opinion. I don't know if that's true or not, but
And
it could be.
I've got the original article up here from Variety, because they're the ones that broke the news, and it just says that they've only learned from sources, and that nobody actually commented on it. Like, none of her reps at the time, and Disney definitely did not comment either at the time. So it really was just a rumor.
But
And if you go on IMDb right now, like, she's still on there as She-Hulk, so that's a really funny thing. I think it's either one of two things. I agree that it could be what Peggy said, and that she's just trying to get a better deal, or she was one of the finalists for She-Hulk, and she was maybe like second or third and didn't get the actual role, and it was someone else who got it, and we just don't know yet.
That could be too.
But here's the thing. Mark Ruffalo, how did he figure into it?
No, you can't trust Mark Ruffalo, especially on social media.
Yeah, that
Come
is true.
on.
Right?
Yeah, he's always throwing random
he's just
stuff out there.
reacting to the news like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Mark
I mean-
Ruffalo was the old Tom Holland in the situation.
Yeah.
And you know that they're probably not telling him anything anymore after he spoiled Everyone Dies.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Bears
I
game
believe
on.
that.
Or what movie was it that
Tampa
he
Bay just went
accidentally
on
live streamed
Green Bay.
part of it at the premiere?
I think it
Oh,
was
my
Thor
God.
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok?
That's
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean. Like, it's not that he's like a liar, but like he's known to gaff a time or two and not
Yeah.
have his information completely
I'm
right.
trustworthy.
I love Mark Ruffalo. Nothing against you, buddy.
Yeah, he's like I said, he was just like us. He just was reacting to the news, and
He's a
I
fan.
hope she is She-Hulk because she's great and she's
She'd be
Canadian.
fantastic.
Yeah,
She'd be amazing. The fact that she was not nominated for an Emmy every season of Orphan Black is beyond me. I think it's
Right.
just because not a lot of people caught on to that show, but just because it wasn't available everywhere.
Mhm.
But no, it's a fantastic episode. She's a fantastic actress. She would knock the role out of the park. I hope she actually does sign on for it. But who
yeah,
knows?
I 100% agree.
Yep.
You know, this goes kind of back to something that John Campia is always saying, that whenever you hear about a newscasting, it usually means that they already signed a couple of months prior to that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So maybe they were in negotiations, and then the news just came out a little too fast. And then exactly just like Peggy said, they heard about the news, and her agents and her apps and whoever is kind of in charge of the whole situation kind of decided, okay, you know what? You haven't signed yet, but people clearly love you as the role, even though you haven't signed. So maybe it's a good idea to just, deny everything
Like,
and
turn it
just,
up a
kind
little.
of force Disney and Marvel to kind of up the race, because I believe she was also in negotiations for Jyn Erso at one point, wasn't she?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I'm not
Yeah,
totally
Was it
sure,
Marvel?
but-
I remember her name being associated to something either Marvel or Star Wars related in the last 5 years or so. So her name's kind of been floating around the Disney subsidiary areas.
Yeah, she's
for a
been
while.
definitely
She's
on the
still on the
radar.
rise.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe she didn't get She-Hulk, but she got something in the future with Marvel,
Yeah.
since her name is going around.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything is possible, really.
Yep.
Kevin Garnett.
Okay, Jordan, what is next?
All right, so we got the news that there's been a Mad Max Furiosa prequel coming with Anya Taylor-Joy to play the young Furiosa, and then also we're going to see Chris Hemsworth and Yahya Abdul-Mateen II in there as well. For people that aren't as familiar with Yahya, he played Black Manta in Aquaman, and then he's also Russell Thomas in the movie Us. So
And he was in Watchmen as well.
yes, he
That's
was in
great.
Watchmen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was awesome in Watchmen. Yeah, so basically all we know now is basically about the casting. We don't know who Chris Hemsworth or Yahya is going to play, and we do know the movie is going to be directed by George Miller. He's coming back to direct, but that's pretty much all we really know. But for me personally, like I freaking love Mad Max Fury Road. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. I was absolutely blown away. I probably saw it because at the time when it came out, I actually worked in the theater or at a movie theater. So I probably saw the movie about 6 times because I got to go for free. So that's definitely a plus. And so yeah, that movie just blew me away. I'm a little sad that we're not going to get Charlize Theron back. I mean, I kind of feel maybe we might see her in some point, but I'm not totally sure. Who knows? But she absolutely killed it. But what are your guys' thoughts? Maybe I'll throw it to Matt. We'll start with you. What's your thought?
Yeah, I'm into it. I really liked Fury Road, but I found the movie to be such a visceral gut punch that I've only seen it twice.
Yep.
And I actually like I like the idea of in this one going to prequel. Kind of see how Furiosa became Furioso. I do like that idea, and Anya Taylor-Joy is a great pick for that. And of course, you can't have a Mad Max movie without George Miller.
Right. Exactly. But what do y'all think?
I was gonna
chime
say,
in.
don't hate me because like this is one of the movies that I actually didn't catch. It's one of my blind spots.
Ooh.
But goes, I will watch anything that Yahya Abdul-Mateen II does because like he's just phenomenal. So I definitely would have to go back, watch Mad Max Fury Road, and then watch this because I'm excited for anything that he does because he's phenomenal.
And he has a kick-ass name.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what's the best thing about his name? You know what's the best thing about his name?
What?
That he's the second. Someone else is also named Yahya.
Oh yeah, right.
True.
Yep.
And I guess for me, I mean, I never actually seen any Mad Max movie. It's not a franchise that really appealed to me too much. It's not something that I grew up with, like a lot of other people who liked Fury Road. But it's not something that I'm against watching. But just Tom Hardy. I'm sorry, it's not necessarily a name that gets me out of bed in the morning. I mean, I liked Venom. I liked Inception, but it's not. And I also love. I really like Dark Knight Rises. Weird Bane voice aside, but regardless, they're saying all the right names for me. Anya Taylor-Joy, Chris Hemsworth, Yahya Abdul-Mateen. I'm sold. I mean, I don't know when this movie's going to come out, but I'm definitely going to watch all 4 of the Mad Max movies, and then I'm right in time for the Furiosa Prequel.
Yeah. So I take it, Peggy, you're a big Tom Hardy stan?
No, not. I mean, it's hot. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not. No, give me Glenn Powell over Tom Hardy any day in that regard. But
Okay.
in regards to Mad Max Fury Road, I have a dissenting opinion on this movie, much different from most of my friends. I have friends who adore this movie. I guess just because I'm not a huge Mad Max person, I don't know the whole canon of the whole thing. I've seen them all at least once along the way, but I'm not like huge into the whole saga of it all. I understand the beauty of the whole, like with the people on like the things going in and out and attacking the fucking truck, but that's not in a good way that's not a good like offensive scheme, if you will. Like it's not an effective way.
It's
But it
not
looked beautiful on screen.
It was visually stunning, but it
Yes.
wasn't practical.
Yeah.
And that just pulled me right out of the movie. I'm like, I get what you're going for, and I get that it looks amazing and the choreography, that everything that went into that particular
flamethrower.
Yeah, I get that, like it's like cool and everything, but it's not practical, and that just kind of pulled me out of the whole thing. But I also say that bring Charlize back. She's a badass. No one can replicate her.
No.
Bring her back. But
And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't there talks of a sequel to Fury Road with her coming back at one point?
Sounds right. Yeah.
I think they were talking about a Furiosa movie and a Fury Road sequel, but people just love the idea of a Furiosa sequel more than the idea of a Fury Road sequel. So maybe that's why they went with a Furiosa movie.
Because let's face it, for those of us who've seen it, it's a Furiosa movie. Fury Road is her movie. Tom Holland's Mad Max is just there.
it ain't Nicholas Holt's. Witness. No.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Yeah, the one thing I really love though about the Mad Max franchise is that Mad Max is just this character that just kind of comes and goes. He just kind of comes out of nowhere. You have this big story about Mad Max, and then he just takes off like rides off into the sunset. And so all these stories, they're not really proper sequels. They're just stories about Mad Max. So you could literally have it set during any time period. You could have it be about any of the supporting characters. There's so many different ways that you could go. So I'm a little surprised that maybe they're going with a prequel, but I mean they could literally go in any direction. So
Anybody else having fun watching Peggy watch the game?
yeah.
Tampa Bay's up on creepy.
Not as much fun as she's having.
Sorry. I am
No
listening.
kidding. What do you think of Mad Max Furiosa prequel there, Ben?
Okay, I haven't seen Mad Max Fury Road either. So, but I like Taylor-Joy. I loved her in Split. I liked her in, what was that thing called? Grass.
Right.
And I like Chris Hemsworth and I like Yahya. So, maybe what I'll do is not with a prequel. And if I like that, maybe I'll work my way onto Fury Road. But here, so to talk about it, it kind of reminds me of a Man with No Name movies.
That's exactly what I am.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it sounds like, and I love Lord, so I'll give Mad Max a try. Why not?
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good analogy because Mad Max is like a version of a gunslinger.
Right.
Yeah. I've only seen the first Mad Max. I have yet to see Fury Road or Thunderdome. But yeah, those are definitely on my list for sure because it's pretty much cult classics at this point.
Oh yeah.
So what I'm hearing is that we're all in for Yaya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yaya.
Yeah.
He must hate that when people say that. He must really hate it.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe
think
he's
about
embraced
after-
it like I would.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, that is
Yeah,
me.
Yep.
After a couple of years, you kind of have to live with it.
It would suck though if people use that like as a dismissive thing towards them. It's like he says it, he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't.
Never.
Anybody here watch
Imagine
The Greatest Showman? I know Ben didn't.
I did.
Oh yeah, he was in The Greatest Showman, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was Zendaya's brother.
Yeah.
Really?
That's
That
what I
was him.
forgot.
It was Zendaya, the trapeze.
Yeah, the trapeze. I didn't
artist.
realize that
He
was
falls
him.
in love
I never
for-
saw it, but I knew he was in it.
It's a fun movie. It really
He's not in
is.
it that much, but I mean, it's nice to see him on screen.
Yeah. No, I didn't realize that was him. Oh, I'll be damned.
You said yeah.
Oh boy.
I see what you did there.
All right, what's next, my man?
All right, so next up we have a Cleopatra movie coming. We're gonna have Gal Gadot teaming back up with Patty Jenkins and Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot. Obviously, they work together on Wonder Woman, and so now she's gonna be playing the real life Wonder Woman, Cleopatra. And the last time we really saw Cleopatra or like an actual like movie focused on Cleopatra was back when Elizabeth Taylor played her back in the 60s. And on the film, actually, a little piece of trivia for you, that is actually the most expensive movie ever made at the time. So it had a huge budget that actually almost bankrupt 20th Century Fox. So, but I don't really know much about the whole Cleopatra story. I mean, I definitely down after seeing the first Wonder Woman, as I was seeing Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins team up. But I mean, other than that, I'm not super familiar. I mean, is anybody else familiar with the story? I mean, what are your guys' thoughts? I'll open it up.
First off, 50, as the resident Israeli in the room, could you please give us a lesson on how to pronounce her name?
Gal Gadot, is that right?
Gal Gadot.
Okay.
Gal
Right.
is wave is a wave in Hebrew. Gadot is a little harder to explain, but it's sort of like a jetty. You know, when fishermen go out to fish, they stand on the jetty.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what Gadot means. It's Gal Gadot. I don't understand people who say Gadot. She's not French.
Right.
No, she's definitely not. She's too pretty to be French.
I guess
Yep.
with this goes.
Hey, I'm a Frenchman. I can say it.
True.
You just alienated an entire country of fans.
I guess with this is like I love Gal Gadot and I really enjoy like the movies that Patty Jenkins has done, even though she hasn't done many. Like Monster is great, Wonder Woman is great, and so I'm excited for Wonder Woman 2. But for whatever reason, I'm not excited for this movie, and I don't see like the reason why they're doing it. It's like, oh, we're just doing another Cleopatra movie. It's kind of one of those like, oh, we're just doing another one of insert these title movie. I would like to see something new with Patty Jenkins. So
Can I
Go ahead.
please
50.
interject? How many Cleopatra movies have we gotten in 100 plus years of film?
True. There's
One,
not
maybe
many.
two. So
And-
it's not like it's not like Spider-Man that's got 3 reboots in less than 20 years, right? It's Cleopatra. It's only been like one major movie and then maybe just a couple of lesser known indies.
I guess
like-
I can put it with like, you know how Greta Gerwig did Little Woman again, and like I enjoyed the movie, but it was kind of, and I think it was the best Little Woman movie that has been out of all the other Little Woman movies. But it was one of those two where I was like, I'm not excited for this. I want her to do something new because Greta Gerwig is amazing, Patty Jenkins is amazing. These are 2 wonderful, amazing women directors, and I would just like them to see them tackle something new, something that comes out of their brain, something that's great. And so I'm
And
just
not even
really
comes
not
out of-
excited about this.
not even comes out of their brain. Find some new and just take a chance on some creative fucking script that they found somewhere. That just take a chance on that and just knock it out of the park. Stop rebooting and redoing and rehashing all the old ideas.
Now,
It's not really a reboot. I mean, it's just it could be just an original story about Cleopatra.
Or-
Cleopatra lived a pretty significant life.
Yeah, or it could be
It doesn't have-
because it's been what 50 years since the Elizabeth Taylor one came out. We know a lot more
60.
about Cleopatra now, so I mean, it could be a more historically accurate movie than that one was. So they could also play it on that end.
My fingers
It all,
Here's
it
the
all
funny
depends
thing.
on what she does with it.
Exactly, it all depends on what she
Yeah.
does. But here's the funny thing: I've been reading a lot of articles since this movie came out, and actually, never once in the original sources about Cleopatra in Egyptian history was she actually ever referred to as the most beautiful woman in the world. That actually was made up years after the fact.
That's
Yeah.
Helen of Troy.
Yeah, exactly, Helen of Troy. But no, for this, I heard Gal Gadot, and I was like, it makes sense. Just to me, it makes sense to have her play Cleopatra. I don't know about anyone else.
I'm just glad that they're not really whitewashing the character, because I mean, like, probably we got this about 15, 20 years ago. It very could have been whitewashed.
Here's the
But
thing. Cleopatra is Greek. She was not Egyptian.
Yeah,
true, that is
Yeah.
true.
I've seen a lot of people online just losing their shit over this because they should have cast an Egyptian woman. First of all, Cleopatra wasn't Egyptian. Second of all, Egyptians today and Egyptians back then are not the same people.
Right.
Greek and Egyptians. The modern idea of Egyptians came about 600 years after Cleopatra died. So why would they cast an Egyptian woman? She wasn't Muslim.
Yeah, and that was with me. Like, I was not angry about that news. I thought, like, people getting angry about that was kind of the dumb part. The more thing was, like, I just want them to do something new. So that was really my take on it.
No,
I mean, you haven't seen the movie yet. It could be something new. That
It could be phenomenal, and I will eat my words.
and I totally understand that, because we've had a Cleopatra movie in the past, but that's again another thing. It's like they haven't really done anything with the character in many years. So yeah, it could be fresh. Like, we don't really know.
Yeah,
now,
like-
if it's like Psycho and it's a shot-for-shot remake of the other one, then have at her and bitch away.
It's not like it's not like Ben-Hur, which had like 3 movies, right?
There's no way to know what is going to become of this project. Like, I was so excited for the Tupac movie. Like, I saw the trailer. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. And whoa.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't good.
No, it was trust me.
And with me, I'm always willing to eat my words. I always want movies to be great. So I'm always like going to root for a movie to do good and be like good just because movies are awesome. So I will eat my words if this is a great movie.
And
That's the attitude.
this has just been announced. It doesn't mean it's actually going to get made.
Exactly. True.
Yeah, and
In development.
here's a question for you guys. Are any of you guys fans of period piece movies? Because for me, I'm not a huge period piece movie fan, but I do enjoy them when they're done right and they're acted very well. And I mean, it always helps if they're historically accurate, but I don't even need that. I mean, I was a fan of that movie, Emma, that came out recently. Speaking of Anya Taylor-Joy, I actually really enjoyed that. And then you said, Little Women too. That one. I mean, even though it was a remake, it was great. So I mean, when they're done right, I do like them. But for the most part, they don't really draw me to the theater. I'm just not. I mean, yeah. But what about you guys? You guys are a fan of period pieces?
Because I'm a history buff, so I love period piece movies, especially when they're done right. Like, even though Parasite was my favorite movie of 2019, like 1917 was like so close.
Beautiful.
Yeah, definitely
Beautiful.
Yeah, that
beautiful
movie.
movie.
And Ford v.
It is
Ferrari.
Ford v. Ferrari also great. But yeah, literally 1917 was like this much. Let me go over my hair so you can actually see, like this much, like in second place between first and second, with Parasite being my favorite. So yeah, I love period pieces, especially when they're done right.
Yeah, and I'm with you. Like, and I know it's not a popular opinion, but one of my favorite movies of all time is Titanic. I think that was historically accurate. All the historians say it's historically accurate. Same with Gangs of New York. I know it's not everyone's favorite Scorsese film, but that movie's pretty damn historically accurate for the times and all that jazz. That's another one. Same with 1917. Like that was That was an experience, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm with you. If
I
it's
saw
done
that on
right,
IMAX. It was so like it was great.
I can only imagine. Yeah, I bought it in 4K, and I'm like, oh, beautiful. But no, I'm with you. If they're done right, they are amazing.
Would the Patriot count as a period piece?
It is a period. Yeah, of course. Anything that takes place like in the past like that is technically a period film.
Yeah.
And it is based on historical people because Cornwallis was a
Yeah.
historical person and all that stuff. So yeah, you could. And same with Braveheart. Like even though Braveheart's been proven to be complete bullshit, it is still technically a period piece.
Yeah.
Also, to your point, United 93, technically a period piece, even though it's 5 years removed from the actual event.
Yeah.
It's telling us a historical story. Now, as for me, I'm a history fan. I don't think I know enough to call myself a history buff, but I'm always open to learn. And just like Jordan said, I don't really need my period piece historical drama movies to be 100% accurate. I don't want to see a movie about Cleopatra coming to space, long story short. But yeah, I don't really necessarily need too much emphasis on historical accuracy. That's why whenever I watch a movie, I go on like Wikipedia or open a book or something and just read about the whole thing. I mean, this past week, I watched all of, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the TV show Time Squad. There is almost no historical accuracies in that show, but that's why I just went online and just read all the stories about all these historical figures that made appearances on that show. So historical accuracy doesn't really bother me too much. It's not a documentary; it's a movie.
No.
It's meant to entertain.
And that right there is when you know a movie's done its job, especially a historical movie, is when it makes you want to learn more about the subject.
Yeah,
Right.
That right there, I think, is what makes it a success.
Just recently this week, I was watching Cool Runnings, which is about the Jamaican bobsled team, and I love that movie. That movie is not historically accurate.
Nope.
Like, yes, they are in Canada. Yes, the place where they were was accurate, but the people on the team, not accurate, and the way that they were treated was not accurate at all. And like they were not runners, they were part of the Jamaican military and went into the bobsled team. So I went back and I researched it, and I was just like, oh, I get to learn something cool about it. Even though I love this movie, it's not historically accurate, but I can learn about it later of what actually happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have a question real quick.
Okay.
Is it historical accurate that Abraham Lincoln was a vampire hunter?
No.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
He definitely was.
In my
right?
world, it was.
But well, to the point I was saying earlier, was that movie entertaining to you?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Very entertaining.
When it's done itself, it doesn't need to be historically accurate. Like, let's take it a step further, not historically accurate, scientifically accurate. One of the best movies of all time, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs had feathers. They weren't reptilian. Dinosaurs did
but
not
at
look
the
like
time,
that.
though, they didn't know that.
True.
Maybe
True. But they still kept on doing more sequels, even though they knew that they were wrong about it.
Yeah.
Right from the
beginning on that. Go ahead.
I'm still stuck on the fact that Sanka Coffee wasn't a real life dude. My whole life's been a lie.
Right. Serious. Best character.
I'm so sorry, Peggy.
I'm sorry, who?
Sorry for your loss.
The pushcart driver from
Jamaica. We got the bobsled team.
Oh,
yeah.
Come on, come on. You
Are
will
you
run
dead,
it.
Mom?
Well, I run it to 9-9. Sorry.
Am I the only one who's actually been to that bobsled track?
I've been in the bobsled.
Probably.
You live
The
in
bobsled
Canada.
is in the Jamaican airport. I think in No, it's in Negril. And I've been in the bobsled.
Nice.
Oh, what?
Yeah, if you
That's
go to
All
awesome.
the bobsleds, I'm sure they have many.
Calgary, all that stuff from the '88 Olympics for like all the skiing and the bobsled, it's all still there. You can go and see it. Yeah.
So now I
Nice.
just need to go to Calgary.
Don't. If you hot take, if you think American conservatives are nuts, the Calgarians, the Albertans, definitely give them a run for their money.
Nice.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Okay, so on that chipper note, what's next?
So our next story here, we have the news that the show Dexter is going to be returning for a 10-episode run, and we don't really know a lot of news about it. It's rumored to start shooting in 2021, and also the showrunner Clyde Phillips is set to return. So you're gonna have the same showrunner, but Dexter was one of my favorite series of all time. I've seen every single episode. I think that I probably watched the series all the way through twice, and I've planned to watch it again because my wife hasn't seen it, so she's got to see Dexter. I own all the episodes on DVD, and there's a lot of things that I love, but there's also some kind of character and story turns that I don't like so much, and I also hate the finale. I think it's one of the worst finales. I don't think that it ruined the show by any means, but it just kind of didn't really wrap things up. It just kind of left it kind of just open-ended. So I kind of feel like maybe that's why we're going to get this 10-episode run to kind of wrap it up a little more properly. So, but what are your thoughts? We'll start with Peggy. What are your thoughts on Dexter?
This is the one I was hoping you wouldn't start with me on because I watched season 1 of Dexter, and it's not my cup of tea. It didn't pull me in. I didn't watch the rest of it. So you guys have at it. Actually, I'm going to take a pee break for a second while you guys discuss.
Okay.
All right. Well, who else has actually seen Dexter? We'll start with who's ever seen it.
Oh God, 4 seasons? What was the season with Lithgow? That was 4, right?
I think it was 4. Yeah, that
was the last season I watched.
I
fell off.
How many seasons does it have?
Yes.
And that was the last really good season, the one with Lithgow. After that, it kind of takes a little dip, but I don't think it's a major dip. It's just a little.
Yeah.
I think I've seen one season more than Matt, and it was like a show that I really, really enjoyed. I loved it. It's set here in Miami, so kind of like that's where I live. So it was kind of cool to see like just the kind of culture of Miami in the show goes. And just to see like him out on his boat, and I was just going, "Oh, am I gonna see Dexter every time we would go out on a boat here?" It's like, "Are we gonna go see Dexter?"
You're gonna see all the bodies that are buried at the bottom of the bay,
right? But I heard kind of just that it fell off and it wasn't as good, so I kind of just stopped watching because I was like, I want to keep it where I actually enjoyed the show and keep that in my memories instead of like the show that just didn't end well. Because I know like. I don't know how many of you guys watch Game of Thrones, but like the way that ended kind of like soured the rest of Game of Thrones for me, and so I didn't want that with Dexter.
I'm fine with the ending of Game of Thrones personally. I don't know anybody who actually in my life finished Dexter.
Really?
For that reason, because it fell off. Like, for me, when they killed spoilers, when Rita died, it's like to me that was the end of the series.
Yeah, that was kind of like a huge moment. And now they can't bring her back unless it's a flashback or something, you know?
But my question is, why Dexter? Why is that one being brought back? Is it because they want to redo the ending?
Yeah.
Maybe
probably,
so. Because it's freaking awesome. I freaking love Dexter. At least I do, so.
Yeah. Like, my thing is, I have no problem with them bringing back shows, but I prefer it when they bring back shows that got canceled to wrap it up, i.e., I know it's not a popular one, but that's why I like that Fuller House came back, because the original series never got a wrap up. It was left. Michelle
didn't
left as a cliff and left as it hanging, and it never wrapped up. Fuller House wrapped up the series.
You still don't know what happens with Michelle.
Yeah, I know, but it just felt gave me closure, I guess.
Right.
More complete,
exactly.
Yep.
Fun fact with Dexter though is that the person who plays his sister Debbie was his wife during the time that they were shooting Dexter.
And they
really?
divorced during Dexter.
I think they're divorced. Yeah.
And they divorced during Dexter, I believe.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, so that kind of makes the like brother sister little incestuous, however you say the word, kiss. A little less creepy.
Oh, come on. They weren't even real brother and sister.
Right. Yep. Right.
Yeah. I never actually watched Dexter. I mean, nothing that I ever heard about the show was too appealing to me, but I do want to say something because I heard from a lot of different people that the last couple of seasons were bad. I mean, like after season 4, a lot of people say that the show really dipped in quality, and there's something that I kind of want to address about that. Again, I haven't seen the show, so I don't know, but the showrunner on those last couple of seasons was Scott Buck. If you don't know the name, he was also the showrunner of the first season of Iron Fist and The Inhumans.
Ugh.
Now it kind of, I hope it kind of makes sense why there was such a dip in quality in the last couple of seasons.
That kind of
anybody who watched the garbage truck that was the Inhumans?
Nope.
Nope.
You're
No.
lucky. I'm one of the dumb people who actually went to the movie theaters to see it. But then again, I had a free card that day, so the fuck do I care? But yeah,
At least you didn't pay money for it.
yeah. Also, I want my money back, and I didn't even pay for it. But the thing is, I don't want to be too negative on this guy, but it seems like from what I'm seeing, everything he touches turns to shit.
Well, not
again. I haven't seen the last couple of seasons of Dexter, but first season of Iron Fist wasn't that good, and the show was so much better in the second season when he wasn't even there. And Inhumans was 8 hours of my life I wish I can take back.
Well, not everything of his was complete dumpster fire. He was producer on 6 Feet Under.
Producer or showrunner? Because producer in television can mean a whole lot of different things.
Well,
Not like a producer.
He's listed as a producer on Dexter and Inhumans and what have you. So that's why I threw that out there.
All right.
All right.
Ben, what are you?
I'll tell you what, I have never seen Dexter, but for some reason this news makes me want to go back and watch everything before this comes out.
Ben, I shit you not, the first 3 seasons are amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. And the fourth, like also the fourth. They are great.
There's a bunch of Emmys.
Yeah.
Lithgow was amazing in it. And then who was the lady that played that other serial killer that he got with after his wife died? I enjoyed that storyline as well.
Yeah. And the storyline in the first season with what's his character's name? Was it Ben? I think it was. The ice cream truck killer.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I don't know. The thought about following a sociopathic vigilante, I'd rather rewatch The West Wing or Friday Night Lights or something.
And fair enough. Like there is more to the character than that, but no, I totally understand. And yes, I said fair enough again.
It wasn't John, so you're good.
Yeah, one thing that I think that would have made it kind of fun and interesting is if they would have kind of like once it kind of dipped in quality at that kind of point, they would have like introduced something new to kind of revitalize the series. Like they had an episode where Dexter finds out that his brother actually has the same hunger to kill as he does. So he finds out he's been off murdering people too in the same way, kind of killing all the bad guys and then calling himself a hero because of that. And for that one episode, Dexter actually becomes like an evil bastard. Like he becomes like he just goes around killing people for any old reason. And I kind of wish they would have ran with that maybe a little further, because that would have been something new to kind of like just give it a little new life a little bit. But they just kind of did it for one episode, and he's like, no, I'm just back to my old ways, my old good guys ways, and that was that. So I mean, just something to kind of just give it a little oomph. I feel like they could have used that.
Yeah, like I mean, I'll be curious to see. I don't know if I'll be watching it, but I'll definitely be paying attention.
Let me ask everybody something. What show that was consistent in quality from beginning to end for you? Just one. Is there one for everybody?
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
So hold on.
I've heard.
So we're not going to go with shows that were canceled, are we? We're going to go with shows that ended on their own terms.
Yeah.
Corner Gas, Canadian TV show that just started airing in the States.
What was the question? Sorry, my fault.
A show that was consistent from beginning to end.
Consistent.
That was not canceled.
I have to say, Breaking Bad for me.
Avatar: The Last Airbender for me.
Okay.
Corner Gas, the Canadian show for me.
The West Wing.
Nice.
Good one too.
Can we include shows that are still on the air?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legends of Tomorrow. Ben, you like that, right?
I like that.
I'll have another one. The Great British Bake Off.
Are you caught up? Are you completely caught up on Netflix?
Yes.
Rowan needed to go week 1. I'm so glad he's gone.
I need to watch that. My whole entire family watches
Spoiler
the Great British Bake Off religiously. I'm the only one that doesn't. So
If
when we
you're
get
having
together,
a
they're always
bad
talking
day,
about it.
it's a great thing to watch when you're having a bad day. You're just watching very polite people be very nice to each other while they're baking baked goods. And I don't know what it is about it, but it just like calms you.
The way to cheer up.
I have a food
gotta cheer you
addiction, so I stay as far away from that show.
It's fair.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
okay, mine.
But yeah, Rowan needed to go week 1. Can't believe it lasted until week 4.
What's
Go,
yours,
Ben.
Ben?
Yeah, what's yours?
I would say I'm going to get hate for this, but I don't care. I fucking love that show. Lost. I loved it from episode 1 to the finale, and I love it.
I've
Last season
tried.
was a little dip for me.
Ben, I have tried. It was my older brother's favorite show of all time. I have given it many a chance. I can barely make it through season 2.
Ooh,
I've
Really?
never seen
Ooh,
a
that-
single episode.
me
That's like
neither.
a hot take that you can barely make it through episode 2, or I mean season
Season
2.
2.
Yeah, season 2.
Oh,
Yes, yeah.
it's-
Season 2 is like the best season. Like in my mind, when they find the hatch.
I mean, yeah, it's just I don't know. It just goes off the freaking rails for me. I couldn't. I had to give up.
Oh,
All about my friend Christina.
well, to each their own.
I get it.
My favorite TV show of all time is Doctor Who, and I love it from beginning to end. There are only just a handful of episodes that I really didn't like, but it's hard for me to say that the quality's been consistent when you're talking about a show that's lasted for 36 seasons.
Right.
So, yeah,
Right.
my second. Actually, no, wait. No, I can't think of one because my second favorite show of all time, Once Upon a Time, still awesome show beginning to end, but it had like one half season that I really didn't enjoy. Then
Same here.
Me too.
You just named 2 shows I've never seen.
Well, Once Upon a
All right,
Time is a good take on fairy tales. Now,
I'm
question for
familiar
you,
with the
50.
premise.
Yeah,
50. Who's your doctor?
David Tennant, obviously.
Okay.
It's not the
It's-
chick.
To me, it's like no,
She was
but
good.
she's up there. She's up there. My favorite,
No idea.
my top 5 is like Tennant, Matt Smith, William Hartnell, John Pertwee, and then maybe Capaldi, or maybe Tom Baker. I don't know. The fifth one is a little up in the air right now.
Yeah, flip for me.
I've only
it's
seen
Smith and
the
Tennant.
season with Eccleston. So that's
That's
the
actually
only
A great
rated
season. He's an awesome doctor, but he only had
Yeah.
for one season.
Yeah, that season is where I started too, and I couldn't really get into it. But some of the later seasons I did.
Yeah, I started with Matt Smith.
Later seasons are more.
Why he's my number 1, but Tennant's like it's Smith and Tennant. Like
I started with Tennant.
Yeah.
My first
What I
episode
love
was
Tennant
actually,
in is what is the Netflix Marvel show?
oh,
Jessica
Jessica.
Jones.
Jessica Jones.
I'm back here,
Okay.
Jessica.
Or if you want to watch another good Tennant show, definitely watch Broadchurch. Like I know they remade it for American audiences a few years ago, but watch the original BBC version.
And my parents love Broadchurch. Like my mom is obsessed with British TVs, and so like at Broadchurch, she's all about that. Huh.
Or
Yeah,
the
and-
British Office.
What's the show with on Amazon Prime where he plays like a demon and there's another guy that
Good
plays
Omens.
Oh,
Yeah, Good
Good
Omens.
Omens. Yeah, is it any good? I wanted to watch it, but I just
It's pretty
I
decent.
haven't
Like,
seen it yet.
I haven't seen it, but a lot of my friends love it.
I watched like about 7 or 8 episodes, and I wasn't blown away, but it's pretty entertaining. Like, I enjoyed it for what it was. So I'll just say
Alright.
that.
By the way, speaking of Doctor Who, I noticed it wasn't in the rundown, but I guess no reason why it should be. And anybody here see the teaser trailer for the Doctor Who console game?
No,
Didn't
I didn't know there was a thing.
I
No,
didn't
I
know
put
that
that on
was
your
a
radar.
thing.
It's just a teaser. You only just see some shots of like Daleks and Cybermen and the Angels, and then there's voiceover from Jodie Whittaker, the current Doctor.
Jodie Whittaker? Really? Sorry, I'm kidding. I have no idea. I have no idea what you're
Moving
talking
on.
about. I just
Jodie Whittaker is the current Doctor, and there is
Ah.
voiceover from the 10th Doctor, David Tennant, who is apparently going to be also in this game.
Oh,
Okay.
Right on, right on.
Looking it up, Matt.
I'm
The
trying.
game I'm
The
the game
Age
I'm
of
most
Reality or
excited
something.
for is the Spider-Man Morales game.
When
That's
is
the
that
one I'm
coming
most
out?
excited.
Yes.
I
When is
think
that
next
coming
year,
out?
right?
Yeah, next year I think.
Makes sense.
Like early next year, I'm thinking.
Spider-Verse was dope.
The teaser kind of made it look like it's the Spider-Man version of Doctor Who, the game.
Okay.
Spider-Man
Yeah.
game version
Yeah.
of Doctor
Hey, 50, you're gonna have to send it to me because I can't find it.
Yeah, I talked to Robert Meyer Burnett about this, but he also had trouble finding it.
Yeah.
I don't understand why I'm the only one who managed to track that down. I'll send it to you later in the group chat.
It's not, like, all I found is an article from May saying that developer May's Theory has revealed to bring a new Doctor Who game to Xbox in 2021.
Did you look up Doctor Who: The Age of Reality on YouTube or something?
No,
That's where I found it.
Age of Reality.
No clue.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I got it.
How's the game
Awesome.
going, Peggy?
Tom Brady just completed a pass. Dude ran a really nice route. It was really crisp. Nice little cut.
So
All
he
right.
pulled it
First down by about 15
There it is.
yards. Nice.
Nice.
My dad
See,
is a
see-
big Green Bay Packers fan, so if they lose, I got to rub it in his face.
And see, Peggy, the reaction you had when I was talking about Doctor Who, that's exactly the reaction I had when you were talking about football.
That's fine. You know what?
I mean,
Because the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be
So,
right
I
for you?
think that's a great enough
May not be
segue
right
to
for
the
some.
sports segment, don't you?
Yeah,
yeah.
let's do it.
All right, so
Yeah.
for this, because it's mostly NBA and NFL centric and a little bit of baseball, we're just going to leave Jordan, Saul, and Peggy into on this one
All right.
because the rest of us don't follow the sports. So I'm just going to remove us out of the chat for a little bit, and we'll come back on when it's time.
Sounds good.
And go.
All right. So I'm going to kind of kick it off here. So I'm a huge NBA fan. I'm like a massive NBA fan. I could watch NBA basketball from morning until night and never get tired of it. Like, I just love it. I love following all the stats, the players, everything. My favorite player of all time is Kevin Garnett. So I'm all about the number 21.
Okay.
That's like my lucky number. So that's me. So, but this week though, we had huge news from the NBA. About this time last Sunday, the Los Angeles Lakers won the NBA championship. They won it all. They beat the Miami Heat. Sorry, Soul. they beat them, but they beat them 106-93. That was the 17th NBA championship for the Lakers. So that's pretty crazy right
Didn't they
there.
tie the Celtics in the amount of championships with that game?
Yeah, they are. Yep.
Yep.
They are now tied, and they named LeBron James as the Finals MVP. Obviously, I mean, I kind of feel like he was going to get it no matter what. And LeBron James, he has been to the finals 10 times. He's only won it 4 times though. So,
Real quick, Jordan.
yeah.
I was supposed to come out of this one because I did not watch 1 minute of the NBA Finals this season.
Oh yeah. If you wanna,
But
you're totally
before I leave, Michael Jordan will always be the GOAT. LeBron James is
Yes.
amazing, but he will never be on Jordan's level. But you guys
I agree with that
continue.
statement. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I was really rooting for the Miami Heat. Like, I wanted to see him win it. Like I'm a pretty big fan of Jimmy Butler, and so I was really hoping he could power him through because he was just playing lights out. I mean, but when you're going up against Anthony Davis, LeBron James, I mean, just some of those guys, it's just tough.
And the Miami Heat too, they were playing injured. And I know Anthony Davis, he hurt his heel again, but that was like game 4 when he got hurt again, and he came in. And so with me goes watching it, I'm so proud of these boys. They played so well. The worst thing to happen in the Miami Heat happened in game 1. Goes Duncan Robinson forgot how to shoot threes. The Lakers learned how to shoot threes.
Yep.
Goes we had Jimmy Butler sprain his ankle. He was playing the entire finals with a sprained ankle. Goes you had Goran Dragic goes hurt his foot coming back in game 6. He was not supposed to be playing these finals.
right.
He texted Eric Spoelstra, the coach of the Miami Heat, at 3 a.m. that after the game 1 and said, "Don't give up on me on this series." Spoelstra goes to the doctors. The doctor was like, he's done for the season. But
Right.
he fought so much to come back and play in game 6. He should not have been playing at all. Goes,
Yep.
and then you have goes, I'm not surprised if we hear that he ends up getting shoulder surgery, is Bam Adebayo. He was also playing hurt. So the Miami Heat team was playing hurt. But they played so well. Goes, I'm so proud of this team. I really hope that we do great next year. Goes, I really hope we get Giannis Antetokounmpo, is how you say his last name.
That super long name.
The super last name.
That
So
no
like,
one can
if he
pronounce.
comes to the Miami Heat, that could be where, like Jimmy Butler, he was playing like Dwayne Wade, who's my favorite player, by the way. So number 3
Ah.
goes, And then if Giannis comes down, goes, he's going to be like the LeBron James, and we're just going to get a repeat of that, and hopefully Giannis stays. So, like, I'm really hoping that those rumors are true because that would be great for the Miami Heat. So, like, I'm happy for LA. Goes, I think LeBron is a phenomenal player and the best player in the NBA right now. I also agree that he's just not at Michael Jordan level, not yet. He could get there, but at the moment, he's not there.
No, I would agree with that. And also too, I was pretty surprised by what the Miami Heat were actually able to do in the playoffs because they were ranked at the end of the season. They're ranked 5th in the East, and they're able to make it all the way to the finals. So I mean, that's a pretty big accomplishment right there. And then also to have all those injuries, and I think that Jimmy Butler, he averaged about 22 points a game. So, I mean, that's pretty good despite being injured like that.
He had a 40-point triple-double in Game 3. He had a 35-point triple-double in Game 5.
Yeah, right.
So, like, he was playing his heart out. And I think there was this one of my friends was saying he just needs a little bit of help out there. And the thing, though, is I was like, well, he was getting help out there. Duncan needs to get back to shooting his threes because he's a great three-point shooter. He just needs to get back to getting to that level. I don't know if it was just being in the finals. He went from 0 points the first game to I think there was one game, I think it was Game 5, that he shot like 27, 28, 29, somewhere in that range points. So, like, he was getting comfortable again. And then also you have Tyler Hero, the youngest player to play in a finals at the age of 20. I'm excited for this Heat team. Like, Miami Heat needs a good team because the Marlins are not great, even though they did made it by the skin of their teeth to the to playoffs. And the Dolphins, like, we've given up on them.
Right? Yeah, the Dolphins. That's a rough one there, but the Miami Heat, like, they have a lot of potential, especially if they can pick up Giannis or they can pick up some kind of big player. That'd be like awesome for them. And then also they actually have my favorite jerseys in the entire league. They're the swingman ones, the ones that are like neon colors. They're like neon purple and that. Yeah, those are some cool jerseys.
The Miami Vice, the blue and the pink.
Yeah, the Miami Vice ones. Yeah.
Yes.
I definitely want to get me one of those because I used to have a little basketball jersey collection, but I just really wasn't finding enough opportunities to wear them, so I sold them. But yeah, that was one I definitely love to add to my collection for sure.
Luckily, I've always repped Dwayne Wade, so people were because I was living in Tennessee and Kentucky when LeBron came to Miami, and so people kept trying to call me a bandwagon fan, and I was like, I'm from Miami and I love Dwayne Wade, and my argument was always, Wade will always have one more ring than LeBron because we all thought LeBron would have stayed, but then he left and he got his 3rd ring, and now he has his 4th. So let's see what he's gonna do. Because his career is not over yet, and who knows how many rings he'll have by the end of it.
Yep. Yeah. So there's a lot of potential for sure. So I was just gonna mention a little news from the NFL. So last week there's a couple big injuries. First and foremost, a huge injury for the Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott had a huge injury where they said that not only did he dislocate his ankle, but he also suffered a compound fracture where he had to be carted off the field and immediately taken to the hospital to have surgery like right then and there. So it was like literally that bad. So these are the kind of things that could potentially be a career-ending injury. They're saying he's just going to be out for the season. Hopefully he'll be back. But gosh, you're watching the footage of
his leg was going the other way.
Yep, he's gone one way. The ankle's going the other way. Ugh.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to talk some football?
Yeah, I'm always ready to talk some football. That I did not watch the actual injury because I didn't go like this because I can't even watch horror movies unless I'm watching it through 2 fingers. But this is how I watch all horror movies if I'm subjected to them. My one Achilles heel in movie trivia, and I'm let everyone know it. If you're gonna take me out by that way, take me out by that way. But it sucks because he's in contract year and he was in contract negotiations, and Jerry Jones just seems like someone who's going to use it as a negotiating tactic and that's just poor form in my mind.
Yeah.
I don't see Dak staying on the Cowboys next year.
Although they did come out with a
Bears could
statement
use a quarterback.
that they're saying that they want to do everything that they can to try and keep him. So Jerry Jones actually came out and they said he will be back next season. But that's Jerry Jones.
Okay.
I mean anything's possible. He's a big talker. He always talks a big game. So we'll see.
And who knows what Dak is going to decide too? Because having an injury like that, you kind of have to like think about where you're going to go and what support you're going to have.
And honestly, it all depends on what their record's going to be and what their draft position is next year. If they're in a draft position to get someone who they think is going to be a franchise quarterback, why pay Dak when they can only have to have a 4-year rookie contract with some guy who might be the answer? I mean, he's a businessman first, and I mean, which sucks. That's the one thing I hate about professional sports, is just because it's all about the dollar at the end of the day.
All right, and just going back to NBA for a second, on the night that the Heat lost, and the Lakers won, my friend from Dallas sends me a text going, basically like, oh, those Miami lost, and I was like, how's Dak doing?
Yeah,
so
right.
I was like, touche.
Ouch. Ouch.
How's your quarterback? Yeah.
No mercy on that comment, dude. Yo.
Yeah, here in the chat, we have Matt saying that it was the second type of that injury this week. What was the other one? I can't remember what the other one was. Do you guys know like what the other one would have been?
This week or last week?
So
I'm
just going to real quick. The second instance was actually in professional wrestling. I think it was actually like 2 days before this injury. Ridge Holland went to catch somebody who dove out of the ring in the top rope, and when he landed, his ankle like twisted the exact same way right out from under him. It was gross.
Yeah, that sounds gross.
That one Louisville player in the
the Louisville.
I forget his name, but
the Louisville player.
But it's still not as bad as what happened to Anderson Silva.
The bone was literally sticking out of the skin. Yeah.
No, I'm not.
In a UFC fight, he went to kick somebody and their shins connected, and it's pretty much his shin bone just turned to rubber.
Man. Yeah. That stuff will make your skin crawl.
Yeah,
sure.
Don't like it. All
right, I'm hopping back out.
All right. See you. But so from any other news, there wasn't a ton of news from the NFL this week, but
a
there
bunch of false positives. I mean,
there's a bunch of those. There's a news here from it was about the Denver Broncos running back Melvin Gordon. He didn't actually travel to New England for their game this week because one, he had strep throat, but another one, or the other reason was that he got a DUI too. So
I didn't hear that part.
I didn't hear about that part.
That part silent.
Yeah, so he got a DUI, but apparently he was like very, very remorseful. He like apologized to the team, apologized to the owners, apologized to everybody. So the team isn't going to punish him. So there won't be any fines coming from the team, but they're waiting to see what the NFL is going to do. They're saying that it's a minimum 3-game suspension for that one. So we're going to wait and see if there's going to be what kind of fine that he's going to have. But also on top of that, though, it says that the collective bargaining agreement ratified in March increased the mandatory suspension for DUI from 2 games to 3 games, which cost Gordon nearly $800,000 in game checks if served next season at his current salary. And also a suspension could allow the Broncos to void a $4.5 million full guarantee on Gordon's 2021 base salary, though it's not clear whether they would do it or not. So that's crazy. Just one little DUI could cost him literally millions of dollars.
If the Chicago Bears are watching, if you pay me a decent salary and give me a nice like SUV car, I will pick up every single Bears player who's out drinking and make sure they get home safely every single time they call me. Because you want to know what? You pay me that salary and make me the designated driver for the entire Chicago Bears team would be less costly for all those players than it would be for anything else. So like that's the thing to keep in mind if you because Virginia McCaskey is watching this. You never know.
Yep, exactly.
And the fact that it's only a 3-game suspension, you would think that it should be more. Because like a DUI is a serious thing. Yep. But who knows what's gonna happen? I guess we'll find out.
Yep.
Just have one of your buddies be your designated driver when you go out. Just don't put yourself in that position.
Yeah.
Figure
if
out a
it's
way
the
to not put
players
yourself
who
in that
paid-
position.
Even if it was like the players who paid for you, Peggy, to drive them around, like that would be less
That's
costly
fine.
for them.
That's fine. I guarantee you, it's less than the fucking contract hit they'll take from getting a DUI, and plus, you're not putting anyone in danger. I got you.
Right.
I
Yep.
got you.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. So that's pretty much all the news really from the NFL. I just kind of wanted to just mention real quick that they released the midseason power rankings for the NFL. So I'm just going to start with number 10. I'm going to go up through
These
the
are
ranks all the way to
bullshit.
number 1. So at number 10, we had the New Orleans Saints, then followed by the Cleveland Browns that actually made the top 10 power list, which I'm surprised.
Wow.
But then you have the Los Angeles Rams, the Buffalo Bills, the Seattle Seahawks, which is my team. I'm a diehard Seahawks fan. 0-5, baby. But and then
0-5. You just told
You
yourself.
mean
0-5. Sorry.
5-0?
5-0, sorry.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was
You know what I
about
mean.
to say,
They're undefeated. We'll just say that. But then you have the Tennessee Titans.
the COVID-ridden.
Yep, the
Tennessee Titans.
COVID-ridden Tennessee Titans. Yep. And then you have the Pittsburgh Steelers. You have the Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs, and then at number 1, sorry, Peggy, the Green Bay Packers.
Packers over the Chiefs.
Three things. One, how are the Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning Super Bowl champions, not number 1 on that list?
Yeah.
Right.
They probably should be, yeah.
Number
I'd agree with
2, the Bears are now 5-1. How are they not on that list? I don't care if they're 10, but they should at least be in the top 10.
I mean, they're the worst 5-1 team, but they're 5-1. So like, all they care about is wins and losses at the moment, and they're winning.
Yeah, a lot of it has to
the
do with
only
strength
thing
of
that's
schedule.
wrong is our offense. That's it.
I mean, that's a pretty
Is
big
their
thing, though,
offense
Peggy. You
as
need
a
your
whole.
offense.
Yeah, you kind of need that.
Defense wins championships. You never know what happens. We've lucked out so far, 5-1. Watch us go all the way.
Yeah, you never know.
You know what? I'm rooting for you. Goes. I'll be there rooting for the Bears. Goes.
Losses not
Just
the
because
Packers.
it'll like blow everyone's mind.
Exactly. It's 2020. What could be the weirdest thing? Bears winning the Super Bowl. Come on.
And look at the Miami Heat. I mean, they made it all the way to the finals, and they weren't like. I mean, they're near the top, but not at the top. So
I thought I was going to be a Cubs White Sox crosstown World Series. That it's 2020. What could be the most like crazy thing to happen? And this is like Chicago just like implodes and has another fire because like it's a crosstown World Series.
Yep.
But nope. Tampa Bay make sure of that.
Yep. Yeah. So in my house, so I'm a Seahawks fan, but my wife hates the Seahawks. She is a diehard 49ers fan. So the Seahawks have a bye week this week, so they're going to be undefeated for one more week because of that. But the 49ers play
Who you guys got next week?
at 5 p.m. And so if the game was to be played during when we're filming, there's like no compromises. She would have the game on. You'd be hearing it in the background the whole time. You'd be hearing her cheering and rooting and everything. But it's not till 5. So
Is there going to be a problem in your household?
It's a little bit like the weird thing is like she loves to trash talk on the Seahawks, but like I don't have anything wrong with the 49ers. I actually was a 49ers fan back in the 90s. The Joe Montana, Steve Young, Jerry Rice era. I actually love that team. So
So you're a bandwagoner. I got it.
Well, no, not so much. I mean, I just kind of had respect for the 49ers, but I mean, I've always been a diehard Seahawks fan. I'm definitely not a bandwagoner there.
I'm messing with you.
But
And I mean, like the Seahawks have a great quarterback, Russell Wilson. Like
I've never bought into him. I don't know why I can't accept the fact that he isn't actually a good quarterback. I can't wrap my head around it. I don't know what my mental block is.
You just need to watch him throw. Just watch him throw those perfect passes that just sail. Literally, you can just hold your hands out and it'll sail right into your arms.
All the stats, everything says that Peggy, you're wrong. He's a really good quarterback, but I can't wrap my head around it. I don't know what my mental block is. It's weird.
It's okay, Peggy. It's probably because you're a Bears fan.
It might be. I don't know what a franchise quarterback is. I don't understand that concept.
Seriously.
I don't.
Yeah, I can't remember the last really great quarterback for the Bears.
There hasn't been one. Sid Luckman, before you and I were ever born. That's it.
Exactly. Yeah. At least the Miami Dolphins, they had Dan Marino. I mean, he's a legend. So the greatest quarterback to never win a Super Bowl.
I will rep that the Dolphins are the only ones that had the undefeated season and won the Super Bowl because the Patriots almost got there, but then they lost.
Yep,
so,
exactly.
It's only Miami, baby, goes, and we will hold that with pride, even though our Dolphins suck.
Yep. Yep, exactly. But that's pretty much all that I really have for NFL. I was going to touch on a little bit of the Major League Baseball. We got some playoffs going on for Major League Baseball. I was going to see. I've never done. As not running the stream. I have a little graphic I want to try to throw up there. I'm going to see if it actually shows up. Because I might have to be actually running the stream. But let me see. Right.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yep, talk amongst yourselves for just
I'll
one
give you a
quick
topic.
second. Let's
The
see.
Holy Roman Empire was neither holy nor Roman nor an empire. Discuss.
There you go. There. So this is basically what your playoff picture looks like for Major League Baseball. So right now it's down to we came down to the Rays and the Astros, and obviously the Rays, they won it out. So we're just waiting to see what's going to happen with the Dodgers and the Braves. And I'm actually was a little bit of a fan of the Braves back in the 90s. One of my favorite pitchers of all time was Greg Maddux. He was like a classic one from the 90s. But like probably out of this group that's left, I probably have to root for the Dodgers. I mean they're consistent. They've been in the playoffs. I want to say the last like 10 years. Like they're always there. They're always solid. So I mean,
yeah, they
knocked
the Cubs out a lot. I remember that.
So,
That's for sure.
I'm rooting for the Braves in this one. My older brother, he was born in Atlanta, so I've been to Turner Field so many times. I've been to the new stadium, which is beautiful, one time, and so like I just got to root for the Braves here.
Yeah,
and I have to root if the Braves make it, whether it's the Dodgers or the Braves. Whoever wins, I want Tampa Bay to lose.
Yeah,
because they
That's
already won. Tampa Bay Lightning already won, and if they also win, the Rays win, goes Tampa Bay. Tampa's going to be insufferable, and we just don't need that in our life in Florida.
Here's my question: do people in Tampa Bay actually attend hockey games?
No, but then they were all going, "Oh, Tampa Bay Lightning," and I was like, "You don't even care about hockey. Why are you talking about them now that they won?"
Right.
I mean, yeah, people bandwagoning because it's fun. It's fun to join in on like the fun of it all. I understand it. I do it with the Cubs, if you will, because I can't watch 172 games or whatever it is a season. But I'll keep up with them. I'm like, oh, they won today. Great, that's awesome. Yeah.
I will say that this year has been the least amount of baseball that I watched. So I just don't know why. I guess I was just more into the NBA this year, but baseball is my favorite sport, so I just need to get back into it.
It's probably for me too. Like this is the least amount of baseball I've really ever watched too. Like it's been kind of a weird year. I don't know. I was kind of mesmerized by the whole NBA bubble situation, so I just watched that a lot. But let's see. Now I'm trying to see how to put it back. There you go. Awesome.
Hey, you figured it out.
Yeah, awesome. I can use a computer. But I just had a little stats on the game. So
what's going on besides the Green Bay getting the shit kicked out of my
right?
Thank you, Tom Brady. One of the few times I cheer for you.
Yeah. So the Dodgers, they've won 8 straight division titles. So I mean they've been consistent, and so there's a really cool play. So they've had a lot of emotional wins. I mean, just all around this year from the games I've watched. There's actually one yesterday. There was an outfielder. His name's Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts.
Yeah,
he got that Boston Red Sox win. So I'm a Boston Red Sox fan. So
I know that name.
He had an amazing catch where just leaped and he stole a home run away from. I'm actually trying to see Marcell Ozuna. So so he just jumped up. It would have been a home run, but he just jumped up and he grabbed it. So that pretty much ended the 5th inning. And you see him kind of do a little dance and just kind of dance his way over to the dugout. And then you see their pitcher on the mound with his fist raised in the air, kind of celebrating too. So that was a pretty cool moment. You can see that it's very emotional. They're really into this kind of thing. I mean, they're giving everything that they have. So I mean,
Mookie is a great player. It's always fun to watch him play. And one of the jokes that me and my dad and my brothers had is before we knew that baseball was going to be able to come back, we were like, Boston Red Sox traded him to the Dodgers for so much money because he's never going to play a game as a Dodger. But then
lo and
behold, we got baseball back, and so it's fun to watch him play because I'm still rooting for the Braves, but I do love Mookie.
Yep. Yeah, for me, when it comes to to playoff time, it's just kind of like if you blink, you're gonna miss some of the games. It's like I missed a week of watching baseball, and they're already in like the division, the division final series, and I'm just kind of like what happened? Like I missed all these games. I guess all right, like these teams are out, and then these are the only ones left. I'm like, all right, fair enough.
Baseball players are so used to playing so many games back to back, which is kind of different from other sports. I know, like when you get into the finals for NBA, they're playing games back to back, but they're not playing like the next day. They have like a day of rest in between.
Yeah, in baseball, it's like every single
baseball,
day.
it's every single day, and so that's just what they're used to because they play series throughout the entire season. So
Yep.
that's just how they play and how they operate. And so it's always fun that like any time of the day, you can be like, oh, there's baseball on.
Yep. Yeah. So just one other thing I was going to mention. So this is actually so coming up soon. I'm going to have a little more news regarding college football because I'm actually a huge college football fan. But for right now, I haven't really done much because there's a lot of the different leagues that aren't having a season this year, or they're having kind of shorter season. I am a diehard. Hi, doggy. I am a diehard Boise State Broncos fan. I was actually lived in Idaho in that area. Gosh, at least like 15 years, and so I bleed blue and orange out of any sport you could ever possibly watch. Like they're my like diehard favorite team. Like I'm always following all the players when they transition into the NFL. Actually, for the Denver Broncos, they have the Boise State Broncos old starting quarterback Brett Ripien. He's the starting quarterback there right now. So I've definitely been in a little bit of a bandwagon Broncos fan, kind of low key, just because of him. But I mean, I am just diehard. But I was just kind of curious. Do you guys watch college sports very much? Do you have any college teams you like to follow?
Not really. Oh, you can go ahead, Peggy.
When it comes to football, I follow the Texas Longhorns. When it comes to basketball, I follow the North Carolina Tar Heels. Yes, okay. I cherry picked my college teams. That's because I went to Western Illinois, not exactly an athletic powerhouse.
All right.
So I had to figure out teams that I actually wanted to watch that could actually have their games available on television. So that's what I went with, and that's what I'm sticking with.
Goes with me, I went to Western Kentucky University, so I'll root for them, even though they could be so depending on what year it is. Goes, I was in school when Brandon Doughty was the quarterback, and he went to the Dolphins. I don't know if he's still in football now or if he left.
I think that's where Anthony Miller went. Wide receiver? I have to look it up.
That sounds familiar, but
I have to look it up. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, one of the main reasons why I bring up college football is because so Boise State, they're in the Mountain West, and they weren't going to have a season this year, the Mountain West, because of COVID canceled all games, but then they announced that they're going to have games. So their first game of the season, they're playing Utah State this upcoming Saturday. And actually, like I always tell people, don't sleep on Utah State. They actually have a solid team. Like they give Boise State a run for their money every single year. And you wouldn't think so. They're just a small little school from Logan, Utah that like just nobody really knows about. But yeah, they're actually pretty solid. So I'm looking forward to it. But that's one of the things that I'm going to miss because I live near Seattle now. I don't live in Idaho, and my favorite thing to do because Idaho, we don't have any professional teams of any kind. So Boise State is like everything. So I was always at the games. I've been to so many. I've been to at least like 20, 30 Boise State games, and like they are so much fun. So I'm going to miss that, but I'll be watching from home, definitely for sure. So.
And it's crazy, like in some towns, how like popular college football is, and like college football is their life. And so I can totally see that. That makes sense that, Idaho, we don't have anything else but Boise State, so let's just root for them. So that makes sense. But it's really interesting to see like in different places how important college football is to certain towns.
Yeah, and I don't know if I have I was gonna see if I had the ability to bring some of these comments on screen, but that's all right. I was just gonna mention a few comments about sports too. So my dad, he likes to jump in the comments. He's always watching. So he says, despite COVID, Tennessee won in overtime. Henry was a beast. So, I mean, Tennessee has been playing very solid. And actually, the Tennessee Titans. I'm a little bit of a bandwagon Tennessee Titans fan too, because I remember watching the Super Bowl. I think it was like '97 or '99. I can't remember, one of those 2 years when they were in the Super Bowl against the Rams, and they almost won it, and the guy at the very last second reached for the end zone, but he just couldn't get in there. And so yeah, I'm always a little bitter against the Rams and Kurt Warner because of that. That just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But yeah, so yeah.
I lived in a town called Franklin, which was 20 minutes south of Nashville. And so I've only been to one Tennessee Titan game, and it was when they were playing the Dolphins. And when I say it was like me and my brothers and my dad, and like this one drunk guy who sat behind us, who were the only Dolphins fans.
Nice.
And the reason we went is we went for my dad's company was doing like a whole like tailgating thing, and they were eating fish, and we're like, oh, but very smart of you guys. I was like,
fights that broke out.
No fights because there wasn't any Dolphins fans there.
Right.
But it was very entertaining to have this one like super drunk guy behind us who was rooting for the Dolphins, and we were just like, anytime we got a touchdown or something, it was like high fives everywhere. We're like, people were like, who are these Dolphins fans here?
Yeah, you gotta love those drunk fans that are just like yelling out random weird stuff. Kind of like, it's always one of my favorite things about a baseball game. Like whenever I go to a baseball game, I'm always watching for those kind of fans. They always seem to stand out to me more. I don't know why at a baseball game, but they do. That's you, Peggy, right?
Every time. I am a Bears season ticket holder, and I am obnoxious.
Right on.
Hey, if I ever come to Chicago, I'll go to a game with you just so that way I can experience it.
Yeah.
Well, Peggy.
I can promise you tailgating. I can't promise you a ticket in my section. I can promise you tailgating, though.
Okay, perfect.
Yep, and sorry, my dad's in here rooting for the Packers too. He says, "Go Pack." So sorry, make you walk off screen.
Why? Why would you subject yourself? And you're welcome. You're welcome for the franchise staying put, because that was the Bears doing. I can tell you
one thing that I have to say is because he's very, very old, and he literally watched Super Bowl I and saw the Packers win, and that's kind of where he got his love for it.
And he would be familiar with the fact that the only reason the Green Bay Packers are still in Green Bay is because they borrowed money from the Bears, because the Bears wanted to keep them local, so there would be a rivalry. You're welcome.
Probably so. Damn it.
Know your history.
Definitely. Yep. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I have for sports. So if Matt and Ben, if you're out there, you guys want to jump back in? 50 Shades too, all you guys.
I do want to say one thing. Yes, there are hockey fans in Tampa Bay. All you have to do is take a look at the 2004 Stanley Cup run. Yes, there are people that do cheer for the Lightning.
I mean, when a Canadian speaks hockey, you gotta listen.
Yep.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay, so
Ben. All right, so Ben, Pokemon, Ash versus Paul, the best match of all time, or is it Ash versus Anderson? It's the best championship. People said that the Sinnoh League and the Kalos League are better. What do you think?
Yeah, he lost me too.
I know Ash. I'm familiar with the name Ash.
Yeah. It's not Pokemon, but we do want to touch briefly on this week in the movie trivia Schmoedown. Ben, you want to take it away?
Yeah, what do we have? We have the Collins versus... I'm drawing a blank here.
Lieutenant Miller?
Lieutenant Miller and Snyder and...
Irwin.
Irwin, thank you. What do we think of it? These matches? I thought they were pretty great.
They were. I'm just kind of bummed that we're not seeing Irwin versus Miller because, spoilers, I just interviewed Liz Shannon Miller for one of my shows, and that is actually something she really wanted to do, was face Ethan Irwin to see who was better. And yeah, it would have been really cool to see for the finals.
Goes, I'm so sad that Liz didn't win. I'm like a huge swag fan, swag, drip, all day, every day. Goes, and so I'm just upset that she didn't make it because people were doubting her. People didn't even have her winning against Rachel. And so the fact that she made it that far, like this is the same speech as the Heat. The fact that they made it that far goes.
So, she definitely had. that Cinderella crown on for this tournament. for sure.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of Cinderella crowns, as someone who's actually played Adam Collins in the Families, I can tell you that dude knows his shit, and he's just he's a genuinely good dude.
Yeah,
I know he plays
Pretty
the character
cool.
with the coyote. Like he's like the nicest guy. He just knows his shit, and I'm so happy for him because he's been a fan of the Schmoes for a long ass time. And like I have friends who like sat with him at live events before. Like this guy was supposed to be in the fucking tournaments years ago. Like I'm so happy for him.
Wait, what do you mean it's supposed to be years ago?
No, like he should have been. Like
he should have been
at that level.
Oh, okay.
Like he's at that level. Not that like they knew about him. I have no idea when he was discovered or whatever. But no, he's good. I can promise you that. And it's Rookie might take this one, guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you think he can take Snyder? Because I do.
Yes, I do. Absolutely.
I think he's gonna beat Snyder, but I'm gonna be rooting for Snyder because it's better for swag. and all of my things is what's the best thing for swag. So if Collins wasn't on Corruption, I would root for Collins because I'm always rooting for an underdog, but it's because he's on Corruption that I have to root for Snyder, which is the funny thing of like a rookie making people root for Snyder because you had that with Oyama. In Chicago.
I never thought about it that way. That's awesome.
Yep.
So, here's my question. If Collins beat Snyder, could he beat Dan?
It could be another Oyama situation.
Yeah.
Could be.
Honestly, I think his knowledge might be on that level, but I just think that if a match would happen tomorrow, Dan might edge him out, but like he's up there. Like Adam knows his shit.
It depends on what questions are asked because Dan goes, if I don't know the questions, I don't know the questions. And you've seen Guy TKO him, you've seen Ethan TKO him, you've seen Dan Murrell lose. So it's a possibility. It just depends on what are the questions that day.
It's always a possibility. Any match, anyone can be taken down at any time, depending on if questions just happen to fall into somebody's wheelhouse or they don't.
Yeah, and it's especially true nowadays.
I think more than just the questions, it's all going to rely on how Collins is going to react to the 5-round match format.
That's true. That's true.
Speed round with questions.
Steady as a rock. It won't be. He won't.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, you're the one who actually met him. So yeah, no, I'll defer to you on that.
Yeah. Just like Saul said, that's what one of the many things I appreciate about Dan is like you saw it in his match against Oyama. He didn't know the 5-pointer or the 3-pointer. I can't remember. So he said, "Well, I'm not going to waste any JTEs on this. I'm just going to concede the game and take the belt. Kid, you want it? I'll just say this. I'm way behind in the Schmoes Know, by the way.
I'm throwing so much stuff at you right now.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean,
no.
I don't. For me, it's not who wins and who loses. It's how the game was played. That's why I watch.
Okay, I appreciate that.
I completely agree with you on that because, like, yeah, win or lose, like, I love like the ups and downs of a match, but it's more about me like trying to play along, if you will. When I watch it, so like,
same here.
As long as I'm still having fun playing along, even if I know the outcome of the match, then I'm still good to go.
Right.
Yeah, to tie it back to what I said a bit earlier on Pokemon, you know Ash is gonna lose, but you still enjoy the actual tournament and how it was played. As far as the Collins versus Snyder, I want Collins to win because I want someone to shut Snyder the hell up. I
love Snyder.
What's everyone's deal with Schneider? I don't understand.
I love him so much. I
actually like Schneider. Like he's my favorite heel to root for.
To me, he's the Bradner Sean to the Schmoedown. He's someone he's good, but you fucking love to hate him.
Exactly.
He's a wonderful person. He's a great guy. I love the guy. But as the character he's playing in the Schmoedown, this one specific bubble where everybody's playing a character, I hate his character.
Yeah,
I
enjoy seeing Snyder lose, and I enjoy taking him down a peg. So obviously, I'm not going to do it because I'm not good enough. But I want Collins to beat him just to prove to him that rookies can play the game just as well as a seasoned veteran and a former 2-time team champion.
And you know what would be awesome if he lost it on an IG question.
Yes. I'll tell you something else, Matt. just because of how much he hates the inner geekdom and the Star Wars. He doesn't think those are valid divisions. I want Snyder versus Kevin Smith, and I want Smith to destroy him.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I want Smith to destroy him to prove that the IG division is just as legitimate as any other division in the Schmoes.
But
So
think
don't
about
be-
this: if Snyder wins and he plays Dan, because that's what he wants. He's never played Dan before, and he wants to play Dan, and Dan destroys him. Let's just
Yes.
imagine that.
I'll tell you one better. I think the Inner Geekdom division is the hardest division
Easily.
in the
Yeah.
SmackDown.
More than Star Wars.
Because
Oh, yeah.
I know movie trivia, but the details and the deep cuts you need to know to thrive in that division is unparalleled in any other
Whereas,
division.
like,
Even Star Wars. Even
Star Wars
Star
is
Wars.
hard, and you have to go very deep, and you have to know things that aren't
But Inner Geekdom
explicitly
is like
said in the movie.
all of them.
But the thing with Star Wars is that you still only have that limited number of movies. Whereas like Inner Geekdom, you do have to go deep, and it's with like over 200 movies.
Yeah, and so like I've played many competitor who like are really good in their game. I bow down to them because that you need to know a lot of shit to be able to compete and be like at a high level in that. So
I will
that's
say
off.
this, the Smet-Snyder match could happen a lot sooner than you think.
Really?
I'm not
You
going to
got
go
some do you have some inside information?
I'll tell off air, but let's just say it could
Tell us
happen
more,
sooner
tell
than
us
you think.
more.
Not Christian Harloff has inside information. Stay tuned, ladies and
Yeah.
Not Christian Tell us more, not Christian Harloff.
I will after the show. I could get in trouble.
Okay. Speaking of the Inner Geekdom, did anybody here know the 5-pounder of the Barbarian versus Chance?
You're gonna have to
What was it?
Which movie was both a
I-
prequel, a sequel, and a midquel?
Oh, right.
Cool.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
I mean, I think I got it on camera. I was screaming up at the TV screen. It was Days of Future Past, and I see Barbarian going for JTE after JTE, and I was like, well, shoot, it's gotta be Days of Future Past, and he says Days of Future Past, and I was yelling and celebrating, yeah, Barbarian wins, and it was like, nope, it was the 300 Rise of an Empire.
Oh, yeah.
What? How?
Yeah, how? That's what I'm saying.
That was the first time I've ever heard the word midquel in my
Me
life.
too.
Really?
Yeah.
What is that?
What does qualify as a midquel?
Wait, let's look at the
Sequel
Google
inside the
definition.
sequel.
Gotta look it up.
You better cough and corner this putt.
Yep.
Okay.
But for me, 50 Shades, I'm with you. I'm a little behind. I've seen most matches, but I have not seen the ones this week. I actually watched the like intro video for the Irwin Snyder match, and that's as far as I got. And then I had something come up, and I was busy.
All right, so a midquel definition on Google: a work that is set during the time frame of a previous work rather than before or after it.
So no Days of Future Past then.
Huh. Interesting.
All right.
So the
So, wait a minute, I have
section
a
of
question.
Endgame.
I have a question.
Yeah,
Is the Lion
Endgame.
King 1.5 considered a midquel?
It's what? Sorry.
The Lion King 1.5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's a
a midquel.
Okay, so now.
Well, not Naked Gun 33
now
and a
you
third.
know. Now you know.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, it's Rosencrantz and Guildenstern must die. It takes
That's right, sir.
place during the movie.
Aaron Rodgers got- I'm sorry, Aaron Rodgers got sacked
I
hard.
thought you were like, yeah, somebody knows Rosencrantz and Guildenstern must die.
Me too. I was like, Becky is so excited about Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Aaron Rodgers got his ass handed to him. It was great. I'm sorry.
Okay, you know what? On that note, I say we should just jump right into our top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
Right.
Let's do it.
Before that, I have one more example of a midquel.
Yeah.
Lost Stars. If anybody read that
All
book.
stars.
Oh, the book. Yeah, yeah.
I haven't started reading it, but I have it on my
The book
shelf.
is amazing. It's really good.
Yeah, that is definitely a midquel. Where did Peggy go?
Carry on.
She's too excited. She had to leave for a second.
She had to go get her copy of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern must die.
Yeah, right. I'm so excited about Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Which actually was the movie, and it has oh god, what's his face? Not Eli Roth, Tim Roth in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's considered a really good play.
I really want to see a Stormtrooper version of that. I think that would be amazing.
Dragon Pink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Think.
Those characters you could do it with, yeah. And then they
Like,
do that
but
in
an
comic
actual
book?
movie of it, because they've done the comic book. I want to see like a movie or a TV show.
Yeah. No,
Did
I'm with you
anybody,
there.
did anybody of you guys get the Easter egg that the two stormtroopers who were guarding Han Solo while he was in the cage with Chewbacca, those were Tag and Bink in the Solo movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
did
think
catch
I heard that. I think I heard that.
Ron Howard actually said that, I believe.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. Okay, so might as well hop into the top 5, and hopefully Peggy's back in the pretty quick
Yeah, she
here.
can go last. Oh, no, I think I see a
Hey,
shadow.
there we
Yep,
go.
there we go.
All right.
And welcome back.
Broken Brandon Gills.
All right.
Oh, we
Yeah,
can't
don't
hear
hear
you.
What?
Oh yeah, can't hear you.
This is a thing with me. I tend
There
to
you
mute myself a lot. I had to pee. I didn't want to interrupt the conversation.
okay.
I figured I'd just peace out and handle my business and then come back.
All right.
Okay, well, perfect.
I didn't realize everyone was paying that much attention to this square of the
Like, where'd you go?
So
We
here's how
can't
we
move
do.
on without you.
Pretty much. Here's how it goes. We go in a circle, do our top 5 pick, number 5, then our number 4, number 3, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to start this off because I chose the subject. And Saul is actually going to do the debut next week's subject at the end of this thing. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Now, before we go into our lists, if anybody has honorable mentions, let's get them out now. I'm going to start. I have 2. I didn't include them on my list because technically they didn't happen on the show, even though they are under their banners. The first one was the Daddy Don't Slap Me series featuring Ken Knapsack from Comic Book, because those are hilarious.
Great
and the
man.
other honorable mention is the Halloween Horror Nights video where they took Josh McCouga to Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Nice.
Classic.
I did a reaction
love
video
it.
to that.
So yeah, those are the only 2 reasons why I didn't include them on there, is because they didn't technically happen on the show, even though they are under the banners. If you guys included them on your list, cool.
Okay.
All right. I have an honorable mention.
Okay, what's that?
Yeah. Now, my honorable mention was on my list half an hour before the show started,
Oh,
but I just had to swap it up because technically it's not a moment. It's more like an episode, or rather a theme that ran through an entire episode of SEN Live, and it was the episode where everybody kept sending the musical stuff from the Schmobot.
Oh yes.
oh yeah.
Everybody started sending songs.
Yep.
And it was just hilarious, and I had stuff to do that day, but I stopped everything to just sit back and watch the full episode because I just enjoyed myself. And like every 5 minutes, they got the Fresh Prince intro, then the Smash Mouth, and No Scrubs, and Ben, you came in with the Friends song, and just
Really?
yeah, Ben said the entire. You know what, Matt? I made a video about that. I can send it to you later in the.
Yes, please. I will admit I am behind on SEN Live because once COVID kind of hit, I kind of fell off of it a little bit. I've watched the occasional episode here and there, but
You've missed the best stuff though.
well, thank you. I got to say thank you to Matt Link for actually posting the clip out so I can actually do keep track of what's going on.
Yep.
So shout out to him.
Watching the clip out, watching the full show is not the same.
Well,
I have an honorable mention, and
Yeah,
it's
same here,
kind of
man.
it's kind of a cheat because it's just anytime Kate does her Chicago accent, it is my favorite thing in the world. So that was my honorable mention because it's not really like a moment; it's just anytime that she does it.
Yeah,
Nice.
agreed.
Yeah. And my honorable mention. So there are just like so many amazing moments. Like I had so much fun this week going back through all the episodes, all the clips. I mean, I probably watched hours of like past content this week, so it was a lot of fun. So I'm just loving this topic. But I'll just go through them quick because they're just kind of small little like moments here. One of them. Just anytime Christian rags on the trolls, like I love when he rags on the trolls, and just like freaks out, like oh my gosh, and just like Yep, the little troll voice. Then also too was the debut of Tom Dagnino as Finstock when he first debuted. He was just kind of creeping around in the back of the show for like 30 minutes, just kind of back there, and like no one knew who he was, and like everyone was like, "What is going on? What's with this guy?" And he had the mask on and everything. So yeah, so there's that one. I also got to give a shout out to the Jean-Claude Van Damme interview, one of the weirdest interviews.
You want some cookies?
It's just like, totally, yeah. And then also too the Josh Robert Thompson as Morgan Freeman as Jar Jar Binks, like that was That was a classic.
These have been
I
banished.
hope none of these were in people's top fives. You're just blowing through them.
One to
well,
but
No,
I figured when we get to the top five,
You might want to look at your notes real quick.
well, so when we get to the top five, we'll go in a little more in depth. I'm just just kind of blowing through them quick, but if you guys have these on your top five, we'll go more in depth.
Well, I know you have one of those in your top 5.
Oh yeah. No.
Okay.
I switched it out. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm going to start with
the
my
last
number
one to switch
5. It is from a Collider Live, and it was from the. It was around the time that Roxy and Makuga kind of had their little spat on air. It was Brett Sheridan uttering the immortal words "suck my pussy."
Yeah, that almost made my list. That was close.
Just out. That was the first instance where we saw the sniper Brett Sheridan just out of nowhere with a comment like, "What the hell?"
Like, who is this dude?
Right?
Yeah. Then you see Josh Makuga just get up and walk out. He was done. He's had it. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Makuga doesn't like the bad language.
Which
Yep.
I understand, especially now that after in hindsight he was doing the eating history, whatever. I get it, but it's like, come on, dude, you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. Especially with like
Oh,
Roxy
show your honor.
and Christian there, those two alone, you're gonna get that.
Yeah, and
stuff.
then out of nowhere, Brett would suck my pussy. It's like, what
Yeah.
the
Well, that's like such an unlike Brett Sheridan thing at that time. Now
Yeah.
it's not so much, but like at that time, it was just kind of like whoa. So yeah.
Yeah.
Because you see the Brett Sheridan of today, you kind of look back at some of the stuff he did back on Schmoes Know and the Collider Live days, and you kind of start to see the beginnings of the sniper. Like one time, it was like, I think Roxy wanted to say something, and Brett was like, "No, you're a woman. Go do your makeup."
Yep.
Yeah. That's probably my favorite version of Brett Sheridan, but it's funny. You look at him on SCN Live and you look, or Collider Live, and you look at him on Schmoes, he was way more reserved on Collider Live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way,
Because he was afraid he want to get fired.
Yep.
By the way, I did actually went back and watch a few the old Schmoes Know stuff, and I looked at Brett Sheridan when he had a bit more full head of hair. He was shaved. He looked good.
Well, hell, have you ever seen his modeling picture?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And it's a funny thing because Mark Ellis was on the show that day, and he said, "Hey guys, what if Brett really blows up in the next 5 years? And who's gonna play with the movie?" I'm like, okay, who's flying an airplane right now?
Yeah, somebody is.
I live on a main street, so sometimes you'll just hear cars.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but the thing I wanted to focus on what Mark Ellis said. Keywords: what if Brett Sheridan blows up in the next 5 years? That was 4 years ago.
Yeah, and here's what I'm thinking about that. He's facing Kevin Smith at the Spectacular. What if that is his big break?
Yeah.
That was a spoiler. Okay.
Seriously. And also, I still want to see Brett Sheridan on Sesame Street. There was a little bit of a campaign to get him on Sesame Street. So I hope that actually goes through.
Can you imagine if Brett Sheridan impresses Kevin Smith enough that he actually gets into a movie?
As
That'd
the
be
Third Klaus!
Yes.
The Third Klaus and a Kevin
The
Smith
Third
movie.
Klaus. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, yes.
We need to make that match go viral. We need to just tweet it out to like anyone who's
Brett
anyone
Sheridan in a
famous.
Kevin Smith movie.
Because Brett is too goddamn talented to just be stuck on an internet TV show. As
He
proven
is.
though, and he did the 3
Oh, sorry.
impressions in one shot.
Right.
Did you see that this week?
Yep.
Wasn't it like
Yeah.
5?
When somebody pledged in $40 and he did Elmo, he did Anaconda,
Bread and
Bread.
Anaconda, yeah.
Yeah, he did all 3 of them and without it seamlessly. Like the dude is talented.
You will not want to get a snake. You need to take
Yeah.
a snake and you put it inside.
Yeah, I
That's
think we
my
have
favorite
our own
expression
Brett
right
Sheridan
there.
here.
So good.
That is no bueno.
And on that note, Ben, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is the Commander Live Freak with the French heroes, and they set Grant to crash an episode.
Yep.
Really, they knew about it, and it was all set up to get horror.
Yeah.
It was funny as heck.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. It was so good.
My favorite thing to come out of that is the thumbnail they used for when they clipped it out. It's Brent has that look in mid-row like, oh shit.
Yep. Yeah, I also
easily-
like watching it from the other perspective. Like you can watch Heroes, you can see the moment when it actually comes in like that and interrupts it. So that's fun too.
Oh God, could you imagine if Schnepp was around?
Oh man, that would have been
That
epic.
happened
Dang it! Why you had to go there?
because I'm an asshole.
Why you gotta do us like that?
Yeah,
Well, at least you admit that.
yeah. But no, I think if Schnepp was there, man, that segment would have been gold. And
Yeah. Schnepp would have loved the lighter life. Let's be honest.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Schnepp would have loved
Schnepp-
SEN Live. He would have loved all of it.
Yep,
Yeah.
would have been down for that.
Would
Dang
have
it.
been better.
Yeah, may he rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Big Squiddy.
Yeah. All right, Jordan, you're number 5.
So my number 5 is actually one we've mentioned kind of just in our conversation, but it was the drunk movie news from Ken Knapsack. So
Punt.
all right.
Hunt! Okay.
Punt.
You want to talk about it now, or do you want to
Later.
Okay, we're gonna save it. So we'll talk about it when Matt gets to it.
Kate
all right.
Saul, you're number
Okay,
5.
so my number 5 is the Bagel Boy stuff.
No, there you go.
And I think
stealing your bagels and stealing your bitch.
goes and
Okay, you're gonna make me spit my drink up.
yes, because the Matthew Reed, who is a genius, who like now has I'm So Sorry Legs, who did this the swag theme song. Like I just hope that he does more and more songs going further. But that song was amazing. The fact that everyone ragged on him as Bagel Boy the fact that he got pissed off about it, like every single part of that story was hilarious.
Oh yeah,
Yep,
yeah. It was this unfortunate Ben didn't take to it.
Right. I was
know.
so hoping for him to be Bagel Boy in the show.
He
That
handled
would've
it a
been
little
great.
bit better than Marzonia did when they called him.
Oh,
Kids.
for sure.
Yeah, because like Ben Goddard, he took or so much shit when he first came onto the show, like just so much over and over and over. It was like a thing, like we're almost taking my moneymaker, just put in some kind of thing about Ben Goddard for the Schmobot to say, just to insult him, and they're like almost like making money off of him, and like he just took it so well that like a lesser person probably would have gotten pissed, or had an issue, but he never really did. Like he just kind of rolled with it. So that's how he's a perfect fit for that show, that type of atmosphere.
I think he only went off once, and the way he went off was in a funny manner. That like even though he was completely serious, the way it looked like to the fans, it was funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
It's
like a golden.
know he was on an episode of Movie Fights.
No,
I didn't.
Back in the day, they used to have the fan cam, so a fan would be sitting beside the fact checker.
Oh,
and
I
he was
remember
on
him
it.
talking about that.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy! I got to go back and watch that.
Yeah, I could tell you what episode it was, but yeah, it was that long ago.
Huh?
Yeah, I think he
Cool.
said that on SEN once, and I was like, oh, you just like reminded me.
Okay.
Yeah, Ben's good shit.
Yeah, it's like a golden rule in the army that they always pick on the new guy, and I know that firsthand. But the problem is he's been on the show for about a year now, and now they have Sabrina, and everybody is fine with Sabrina, and they're still shitting on
Right. Not gonna pick on the women.
guys. You're not getting the rule here. You gotta shit on the new guy. Ben was the new guy a year ago.
Yep.
But Sabrina's
Exactly. He already went through his hazing.
I think too,
Sabrina.
the reason why they don't want to shit on Sabrina is just because of all the shit that she took from
Yeah.
the Trivia
That was
Showdown
good.
community after
Fuck
that
those
match.
fans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was
those guys,
disgusting.
man.
It's really unfortunate, but yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't mean to shit on Sabrina, just
Right,
in a playful way, in a fun way.
right,
And
exactly.
Sabrina's gonna take it well because she's a perfect fit for the show. She would take that in stride, and she would pull out her her impression with the J-Lo and the 40 Sabrina. She'd run with it. She's gonna have fun with it. Just don't be disgusting. Don't be a fucking douche.
Yeah, but I can see why they're towing the line with that, just because of the fact that happened. So like, it makes sense that they're not going in as hard at her because of what ended up happening with her on the movie Trivia Showdown.
Fine with.
I think there's a way.
She can definitely 100% take it, and she can dish it out too.
Yeah, definitely.
She's a warrior.
She's got that Latina spitfire.
And as a Latina myself we're able to dish it out.
Yeah. Okay, so what is your number 5, Peggy?
All right. I'm going to preface this. I'm not muted anymore, am I? I
No,
know
you're on.
okay,
You're on.
we're good. All
I
right.
can hear you.
I always have to check. I will preface this that I did not get into the Schmoes until March of 2019. So I had to do kind of a deep dive of what I could find on YouTube and rewatches and try to like learn a little bit about I've seen like past Schmoes matches, but we were looking for like SEN, Collider Live, Schmoes Know moments. I went with the 200th episode of the Schmoes Know when Ken Knapsack just basically roasted Christian and Mark for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, that is a great moment. It's unfortunate that whole episode is off the air.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I watched it 2 days ago.
Yeah, no, really, because I've got
Really?
the playlist and it says private video. It's no
Private,
longer
yeah.
No, I
what I
watched it
saw.
2 days ago.
You must have watched a clip out.
That might be the case.
Yeah.
I probably didn't see the whole thing. It was basically just Ken just ripping into them, and I
Oh.
was dying laughing.
Beautiful.
Knapsack is a comedic genius. He's
Yeah,
great.
I agree
Yeah.
with you. I think the reason why it was taken down though is because of the whole cocaine donkey thing that was Scott Manson's nickname at the time.
I didn't catch that part. If this probably wasn't part of it, that's probably why.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah.
anytime Ken roasts anybody, it's comedic gold.
Yeah.
Even Ken Knapsack is the reason why my wife will actually watch the show. Like she,
Is that her favorite?
that's her favorite. Yeah, because she's not really like a huge fan. Usually when I'm watching, she's like, "Oh, he's just doing his thing, watching his community stuff, whatever." But then when Ken Knapsack's on, she always kind of perks up a little bit because he
He
my
is
wife's,
a national treasure.
Yeah,
my wife's down for his style of humor. I'll just say.
Let me ask you this: Ben or not Ben, Brett or Ken Knapsack?
Oh,
Ken.
don't make me choose.
Yeah,
I'm making
gonna
you
choose.
Oh,
If
okay.
someone has a prepared bit, Knapsack
Okay.
every time. If it's someone
Yeah.
who like improvs in the moment, I guess
There you go.
I might be leaning towards Brett.
Nice save.
But then at the same time too, I think Ken can sometimes come up with
Oh,
things. on the fly,
absolutely.
too.
I'm not
So,
saying you can't, no,
yeah.
because he's fucking
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's just better when he's prepared, when he's writing
Yeah.
something. in
for
advance.
sure.
Oh no, because
Yeah.
because when he's writing something, it's like a syringe right into the fucking like heartbeat of the joke. Like he's got that.
Yeah, but if you want to see how good Ken is off the cuff, when they did during the beginning time of COVID, they did a Schmoes Know reunion show, and he actually did the news improv.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will have to check
It was
that out.
impromptu, and that was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
yeah. Ken Knapsack, I like to say, is my spirit animal.
Right on.
Mine's Debbie Wambach, but to each their own.
Okay,
I think mine would be Ali Wong if I
Oh,
had
what
to choose a
happened
spirit.
Hey Ben.
what
Oh, there he
happened
is.
there?
Okay. He's
Okay,
back.
50. What's yours? Number 5.
Okay, my number 5 is the only moment from Schmoes Know. I didn't actually watch a lot of the Schmoes Know. It just really wasn't my thing back in the day. But this one really stuck to me, and I think it's the perfect explanation of what that show is. And I think it's so great, but it's a moment that I don't think a lot of people remember. They just started the show, and Harloff did exactly what you said. He was talking about in his troll voice, like someone sort of mentioned on an after show something that they cleaned it up, and it's like, oh, of course they cleaned it up. It's Collider. And then fuck.
Yep.
Fuck. And then they all just started joining in, and Jeremy Johns was there, and they were all like doing this from the Suicide Movie, and they were like fuck, and it just went on for like a couple of minutes. And I think maybe RB3 did a rap song about that, but I'm not 100% sure. But it was just so fun, and it was my best memory from the Schmoes Know era.
Yeah, that's what I missed the most about the Schmoes stuff. It's just it was must see TV because only once a week, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It's only once a week.
See, the
There's like
funny
a big
thing
build up
is,
for it though.
yeah, the funny thing is, when I first came into this community, I was only interested in the movie stuff, and that was like half an hour to 40 minutes long. And when the Schmoes Know stuff came about, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I can devote 2 hours of my time. And now, I mean, like, the John Campus show, 2 hours, SEN 2 hours every day. I watch the Geekdom show is 2 hours. The Outlaw Nation is sometimes 3 hours. Now I'm just watching it all the time. So, but back
A lot of
then,
content.
2 hours a day seemed like a little too much for me. To me, today, I mean, hell, I'm on a 2 hour show right now. So, yeah.
Yeah.
How times change.
Yeah. Kind of
Yeah,
going
you
back.
know, in Israel, we have this song, whoa, איך שגלגל מסתובב, which basically it's basically how the tables have turned, but it's like how the wheel is rolling, how things change over time.
Nice. Yeah, I kind of think of going back to like the like hazing. I see there's a comment here from the let's see what it go? Oh, the let's get ready to schmo down. It says, okay, 50 Shades, I'm going to go at her because you said to, and he's referring to Sabrina. So we'll see what happens.
Oh,
it just made me laugh.
If you saw that, if that's you, Shug, take it easy.
Probably is Shug. I wouldn't be surprised.
All right.
Okay, so
Just don't mention my name in that.
yeah, you didn't hear it here at all.
He's gonna say, "Hey Sabrina, blah 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 blah." 50 Shades made me say that.
Okay, so my number 4 is also from the Schmoes Know show. It is the celebrity dating game moment where they pranked Sasha by having Jamie Costa come up.
Yes. Yes.
Well, is that on your list?
Is that a fun for you?
I think it's my 4. I'm gonna double check.
Perfect.
We'll move it. It was my number 3, but we'll move it to my 4. That's fine.
Okay. So yeah, no, that was the first instance that I was introduced to Jamie Costa and just his genius of an impression. And I love how Sasha thought it was like all these other people, even though it sounded nothing like them.
Yeah. The thing is,
JT.
there was like 10 people in there, and he had like 17 characters.
Yeah, she's like,
Yep.
she's like, do Robin Williams right now, and he like tries, and he can't even pull it off like for a second. It's great.
Yeah, that's another instance of why I miss most no shows, because you could do stuff like that. You can't necessarily do it right now in the digital age, and B, the kind of setting they were in for Collider and SCN.
Yeah.
It was special.
Yep.
Unless they get a bigger studio similar to the Schmoes Know stuff, maybe then they can do that.
Which hopefully they do when this ends. And the
Harloff did mention that they're working on it.
Yep, for sure. I know.
Yeah.
I would love to see the return of the celebrity dating game.
Yeah, you guys also see when they had Ross Marquand on there from The Walking Dead, and he did the same thing. He pranked everybody doing all the voices, and like he has a spot on John C. Reilly that's like freaking like amazing. He can do John C. Reilly perfectly, and then also he has a solid Jack Nicholson, and then he also does John Malkovich. That's another one that he pulls off.
And as we found out in Infinity War, he's got a really good Red Skull.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's a Red Skull. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's him in that movie.
Oh, wow.
And Endgame.
Bananas.
And Endgame, correct? Okay, Ben, you're number 4.
My number 4 is also from the Schmoes Know. It was when the cat pranked the director.
Yes, that one almost made my list. It just missed the cut.
Not the actual moment, because I don't think you can find it.
No, because it happened on camera.
It wasn't on camera. It was on the break.
On camera.
The aftermath.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was so funny. How everyone hold up and try to just scare to death of this cat. And
Yeah, from the sound of it, it sounded like the cat was possessed by a demon or something.
Well, here's the thing. From what I've gathered from watching those old episodes, Sasha's cat's an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was one of those things, like they never act this way. They never act this way. But then, like right when you introduce them to someone new, they act that way and like claw your face.
That's my human. Get away.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
He never acts like this.
That was a great moment. That really was.
Peggy's getting a refill.
I am.
Gotta refill the
Something
sippy
wrong
cup.
with that?
Nope,
Nope,
I'm just wondering
nothing.
what that is in your counter. Is that an elaborate bomb?
Is what?
It looks
There's
like
the
a
camera
water
there.
thing.
It looks like an old camera to me.
I don't know what you're looking at.
The red
The
thing
red
beside
thing.
the
The
fridge.
red thing on the.
Oh, the little
that.
coffee maker?
Oh, the coffee maker.
It's an espresso.
Oh, okay.
Fancy.
Yeah, very
Not
good.
really.
I love the way you said it. It's an espresso.
Espresso.
George Clooney lured me in. That's not mine. I don't know. This is not my place. I don't
Hey,
know.
if it's George Clooney,
Yeah, nope, definitely not.
no judgment for
Leave it
me.
in there.
See, I'm going back to that moment though. Do you guys think those directors had the similar feeling when and if they watched the Captain Marvel movie? When the cat takes out Nick
'cause
Fury's
the
eye,
cat-
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Flashback, PTSD.
it's like, oh mother flirkin'.
Yep.
I love it.
Like I know the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nobody knows Rookie of the Year.
funny thing is, they actually changed the way Scar looked like after the movie. It's like when he appeared in Far From Home, the Scar kind of looked different than all the previous movies because
Really?
it needed to look more like a cat scratch.
I
Yeah,
never noticed.
I did. I was looking for that when he
Oh,
showed up in. And also, it wasn't actually Nick Fury at that time. It was a Skrull, and it was Ben Mendelsohn. He was there when it happened, so he's got to look authentic.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert for a movie that came out almost 2 years ago.
I know.
Spoiler.
I just love when people say spoiler alert for something that came out like years and years and years ago. It's like,
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, one of my favorite things was when they on the Schmoes Know, they'd always have Cody throwing up spoiler alerts for random stuff that wasn't even like really supposed to be a spoiler.
Fun fact.
But he just
blah,
throw it
blah,
up.
blah, blah, blah.
I
Yep.
miss Cody Hall with Christian Harloff.
Yes,
Yeah, I
bring
do.
Cody back.
Yeah, they need Cody. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, as long as he's implied in Political Collider, it's never going to happen.
I know, it's sad. His talents are being underutilized over there.
100%.
Yeah.
He's when it comes to the wangers, Cobster's the brain, but Cody's the heart.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
heart and soul. And spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Yep.
there we go, Ben. Okay, Jordan, what is your number 4?
So my number 4 is actually forget Angry Riley. My number 4 is actually Angry Brett Sheridan. Like, if you've seen some of his rants
Which
where he
one,
just
though?
goes
Which
off.
one?
So like one of my favorite ones is
Was that
actually was the one when someone called his mom a cunt online in like some kind of like comment section, and like he just freaked out. He's like, what the hell kind of person would go online and just find some random person because of what they didn't or didn't like about them, and they'd call their mom a cunt. What the hell is wrong with people? Seriously. And like he started freaking out. And then also too, he received some kind of death threats about like not liking a movie. I want to say it was one of the Star Wars movies, but I can't remember for sure. There's some movies that they didn't like, and so he actually received death threats. And so he also had an epic rant about that too. It's like, what is wrong with people? Which is all about like trolls in the comment section, and like, it's just some epic stuff. It's so good.
I was afraid you were going to take my number 3, but I have a completely different Brett Sheridan
Okay,
one.
good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, that's funny. That Brent rant about his mom always somehow, like, it seems like once a month pops up in some group I'm in.
Yeah, right.
You're right. It's epic. It's like watching it's like watching anger in Inside Out lose his shit.
Yeah. But the thing about
like I am right now.
Brett is like,
I think it's because he's like typically like just the happy-go-lucky, go with the flow guy. So then when you do see his anger moments, it's like, whoa, wait a second.
Yeah. Until you
next
Tuesday.
Yep, he's just totally calm until he's not.
Yep, he's a sniper.
Yep.
I think the whole thing. Someone clipped that whole thing out, and it's like, stop being shitty to people on the internet or something. And you can see the thumbnail. It says Brett yelling, and his face is all red and stuff.
Yeah, that's the clip that, like I said, it seems like every month it appears in a group I'm in.
Yeah, but I just wish that they wouldn't hide the Brett and Kate show behind a paywall. I wish that would just out there for everyone to see. I mean, I pay for it because it's worth it, but I mean, it's just it needs to be.
When I was a Patreon, it was definitely my favorite thing they did. Okay, so Saul, you're number 3. Or you're number 4.
So my number 4 is been mentioned before, but Ken's drunk news. And the main reason I was saying earlier that like, oh, this is kind of a cheat because the reason he was drunk is right before he did the drunk movie fight.
Drunk movie fights.
Okay, you want to talk about it now then? Because it's my number 1.
Yep, and
okay,
it's my
go
number.
for it. Yeah.
Oh.
My number 5. So.
Okay, let's just fuck it. Let's just talk about it now. Yes. And I agree with you. I consider it cheat too because I considered the whole thing, him drinking, getting the Brad Pitt age correct,
right,
winning the whole freaking thing, and then
because he got the age correct was the only reason he won.
And then you go look at it from the Schmoes perspective. In the middle of the show, Harloff says, "Oh shit," and he just texted me, "Ken is drunk."
yeah, there's that moment.
And then he comes in and delivers the best performance of the news ever. While drunk, and apparently he had to stop the car on the way there to throw up. He might have pissed himself at one point after a drink. Like, it's just holy crap.
Because they were completely hammered on that movie fights, and it was like one of the best movie fights ever.
Yeah, it is the only one I will still go back and rewatch.
I don't
think I've seen it. Even in my deep dive, I don't think I saw it.
Okay,
No,
I'm gonna send
Send
you
me the
episode.
link after. Yes, thank you.
I'll send it to you in the group.
Yeah.
Perfect.
My favorite
It's
moment of that was when he just straight up said, "Oh yeah, spoiler alert, I won."
Yeah.
Sure. Yep.
And
He
when he
did
was
win.
trying to read the news, he was like, "The Han Solo movie."
And my favorite
Oh,
thing
that's
too
so
about
good.
him getting the drunk movie fights belt too is that he broke it on camera, like right as he got it.
What? I didn't see that.
Because it had two like
See, we all need to
it
rewatch
had
it.
The cans.
because it had two cans on the side of it that were glued on and they were painted gold, and like he ripped one off by accident.
When was that? Was that on the movie fights or was that later?
That was later. The final drunk movie fights that they did for the drunk movie fights champion, which ended up winning, and then he broke it.
Because I remember he showed up with that belt to one of his Schmoedown matches before when he was still part of the Nerds Wash. He showed up with the belt, I think.
Yeah, he might have fixed it by then, but yeah, it was he received the belt and then the thing fell off, and
Yeah,
it
and
was
then
one
it
of the
fell off.
funniest.
Yep, I remember
Quality.
that. Quality belts. Yeah.
What I love about that belt is that it says the drunk movie fights champion.
Oh,
I'm a champion.
I never seen it up close, but that's funny.
No, I think Dan Merle actually
episode
read
in the
that
chat.
online.
I'm gonna send the full drunk episode in the chat, and then I'm gonna send the news.
Okay.
News.
All right.
Okay, so
I'm gonna say this one headline brought to you by Cloud.com.
So, and with that, Peggy, you said your number 4 was the same as mine from earlier.
Yeah, when Jamie Costa he did McConaughey, then he did Depp, then he did Gandalf, and then he did Lovitz and Owen Wilson and Robin Williams, all like within the same like time period, and like yeah, it was fantastic.
And the best part of that too is like when you see him do it, is like his whole face transforms into it. Like he does
Yes!
Robin Williams, and he like looks like him.
That's
It's
impressive.
crazy.
Exactly, I agree.
Yeah, so that's fun.
And what I love most about
sure.
that moment is that they show the camera on Sasha, and when one of the quote unquote celebrity suitors is talking, they cut back to the table, and it's just Jamie Costa popping his head out of the table and just speaking something into the microphone, and just goes back under the table like a whack-a-mole.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no! I have a better analogy. Phenomena. Phenomena.
Yep.
I played that in high school jazz band.
Nice. Was that the same one with
I
that had RB3 doing the James Earl Jones impressions? Because I know he did one with that.
It's not a part of the show at that point, I don't think.
Okay,
This
there
was
must have been
early
another
in
clip
the
that I
latter
watched.
era of Schmoes.
I will say,
Yeah.
as a band kid, I'm very glad that they never forced us to play that song.
Yep, same. I was a band kid too.
I'm
So what
I
still,
instrument
stepped
did
out
you play?
I'm still
I played the trumpet, so
Okay.
the first chair for like a week.
saxophone player for 22 years.
Because I'm a clarinet player, but then I ended up marching baritone.
Oh, nice.
I played clarinet for like 2 years in like elementary school.
I'm president of the local terrace community band, so that's how.
Oh,
involved
nice,
I am,
nice.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I sing in the shower sometimes.
Me too.
I like to listen to music.
I tend to lip sync more than I sing. It's better.
Funny enough, I found the best time to sing is after band rehearsal because my throat is so warmed up from playing my instrument that long that I can actually sing in tune properly.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah. Anywho, it's music talk. 50. What is your number 4?
Okay, my number 4 is the one that actually replaced the one. Speaking of music, it actually replaced the one that I put in my honorable mentions. And also, speaking of Cody, it was the episode of Collider Live when they started with Cody's birthday.
Yes.
And they started the episode with like, "It's my birthday."
Oh yeah.
And then he goes into Cody. He's got like the sunglasses. I wish I had my sunglasses at the moment, but he puts on his sunglasses and he was like, "That's right, everybody! It's Cody's birthday. We're talking Super Mario, Pokemon, and baseball. Now, Christian, Josh, what are you gonna talk about?" And then they're just pouring an entire bucket of colorful balls on him, and then for the rest of the episode, they just play with those balls
Yep.
in a fun way.
Yep.
Yeah. That for me, SEN Live, that is the dynamic that's missing. It's the booth stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, the
Definitely.
Booth Boys.
Yeah.
The Collider Live, the Booth Boys is the reason why you cannot just listen to that show on the podcast. You need to watch it.
100%.
You have to watch it. Yep.
Yeah, you can't just listen to it. You have to
do this once in a while.
Yep. I don't want to say too much because I did a cheat about some Cody Hall stuff that's coming up on my list. So
Okay.
I'll talk more about that later.
Okay, so in that case, we'll just head on to my number 3 then, which is not a funny moment, but it is for me an endearing moment. It's back in the AfterBuzz days of Schmoes Know. It is when the boys interviewed Mark Hamill, and at the very end of the interview, you see them reach behind their person on the panel's back and they high five each other. Like I said, it's not a funny moment, but it's a moment where you can see two lifelong nerds talking to their idols, and it's like I said, it's an endearing moment because you actually see the people behind the schmoes. You know what I mean?
Yep. Like mission accomplished.
Yeah, pretty much. It reminded me of, like, if I don't know if any of you guys have seen Tango and Cash. It reminded me of their high five, but it's just like it actually had something meaningful behind it.
Cool. Right on.
Yeah. Ben, what is your number 3?
Okay, my number 3, I'm going to use my phone for something.
Your what?
Everyone in.
Time to begin.
Okay,
just in time.
Okay, so back in the days of Collider Live, they would play sound bites and stuff like that, and they played the Zoobly Zoo theme song, which is probably one of the worst theme songs ever. And Makuga and the
stuff of nightmares. Yeah,
they would give them nightmares, and so they would randomly just drop it, and you would see them like, fuck this, and throw off their headphones. It became a very, very funny bit. Yeah.
There's so many good bits that are surrounding that, like the scene where we start playing it, and then you see Josh Makuga just throw his headphones up, then he grabs some kind of picture off the wall, and he starts destroying it. It's like, I hate my life, and he's just like just going crazy, just like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah, that's again things you don't see on SCN Live. Like, they got their own bits, but it just was something different.
Something funny is that I was actually watching a stream of Mark Riley on Twitch the other day, and somebody actually played that. There's an option where you can actually play it, and they're in the middle of like killing zombies during Call of Duty, and there's no way to shut it off. So that song literally played from the opening to the closing, like screaming loud, like super, super loud while they're killing zombies, and like they're just like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Because they had no way to shut it off. It just had to play to the very end. And, oh, it's so good.
Oh, he must have been happy.
Yeah, right.
You know what, Ben? Because of you, I think I now changed my number 3.
Ooh. Okay, well, Jordan, what is your number 3? Your number, 3.
Yeah, so my number 3 is actually from the Schmoes Know. So it's actually Wrong Call Dana. Do you guys know about Wrong Call Dana?
Oh,
Yes, from the early days.
Yeah, so that's like from the early days. That's like from the Toad Hop days, but it's like super crazy. So this random person, they call into the show, but they don't realize that she dialed the wrong number. So she thinks that she's calling it some kind of morning radio show, but they just go with it. You see Christian just be like, all right. And he's like, shh, we're just going to run with it. And so she's just she's making some kind of comment about, like, I think some kind of couple or something. They're like, yeah, like, I can't believe, like all the drama and stuff that couple's been through. It's just crazy. And so you see Christian, you're just like, yeah, I know, crazy. Especially what happened last Tuesday. I mean, gosh, that was like insane. And like, she just plays right into it. And then at the very end, she was like, I wish you and Jessica all the best. I wish you all the best. And he's like, oh yeah, I love her with all my heart. So, and then he even throws in a little plug. He's like, so there's this little podcast called the Schmoes Know. We're really big friends of theirs. And what I want you to do is I want you to tune into them. This is when they air every week, and you need to tune into them and you need to give them a like and a subscribe. Can you do that for me? And she's like, oh yeah, totally. But it's like this whole thing where the lady has like no clue that she's not talking to the people from the radio station. And at the end, you just see Christian go, that was a moment for Schmoes Know history. That was like crazy how that played out perfect.
And they've tried to replicate it since, because Christian will occasionally get a phone call on the show, and he has always tried to replicate it, but it's never worked.
Yeah.
It's typically like just a toll-free call or something like.
Yeah. So like I miss having phone calls on the show. They need to find a way to incorporate having like phone calls from people on the show. I definitely miss that.
Yeah.
I do too. What's shitty is I did
all of which will be Saul, by the way.
Yeah.
Not our Saul, the actual the bearded Saul.
Saul,
I
I
tried
know.
many times to get online because I was off for a month a couple years ago from some surgery, and I tried every freaking day to get on the show, and I couldn't get on.
Your name's not Saul.
And every time Saul would get on, and they'd be like, "Oh, Saul's here," and I'm like, "Wait, not me. No, we're not talking about me. I'm not there."
Yeah.
One of the times he actually called, he was like, "Okay, so where did we leave off?"
Yep.
And one of the first episodes, I forget which episode of SEN, when I like made something and it was like, "Oh, from Saul Govan," and then like Kate got so excited, goes, "Oh, is that Saul?"
Yeah.
And it was like, nope, different person.
Very disappointed.
Nope, different Saul.
My favorite Saul moment was, "Damn it, the dog took the bacon."
Yeah.
Oh, the dog got the bacon. God damn it.
The dog got the bacon.
Alrighty. Saul, you're number 3. Oh, it looks like we've got a lot of catching up with you to do, Peggy.
Yep.
Okay, so my number 3 is the Flirt and Floss.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a punt for me, but
Yeah, that's cute.
I'm glad you said that because that was my number 3, and then Ben made me change it. So thank you for bringing up the Zaflatin.
I think
Okay, let's talk about it now then.
Yeah, we should talk about it now. Let's do it.
Goes, Brett is a national treasure, and everything that he does is wonderful. But the Flirt and Floss, that was amazing, and
I have that T-shirt there, 50.
Anytime he was playing that, I'm the German superstar. Like,
Yeah, but when the music cues up, that little German music that I think was created by David B, I want to say.
Probably.
I think so, probably. Goes,
Yeah.
and I have two of my best friends are German, so like it was just really funny to like see, and I was trying to like show them it, and then they were even laughing at it. So it's like, okay, even German people found this funny.
Good to know.
Yeah, that was right around the time I stopped watching Collider Live regularly, so I missed a lot of that Flirt and Floss.
That was SEN.
SEN. Yeah, that's when I stopped regularly watching.
So did any of you guys get this Flirt and Floss shirt with Brett and Christian on it? Because I wanted that shirt so bad, but I was at a time where I just didn't have a lot of extra funds.
I was out of time.
But I couldn't find it.
Oh, you actually have it. Right on.
Yeah.
Here's the question, though. Did you guys scream Zaflet and Flaus when they screamed it on the show?
Yes.
They had the countdown?
When I was at home, yes.
Loud.
When I was at work, no.
But I was home alone, so I was able to do it.
Yeah, I feel really subconscious doing things like that home alone.
Right. But
what if you got an answer at home?
Yeah.
That would be creepy.
But one of the greatest moments for me though was when I was just tuning in and it was like I think maybe like the like second or third time after Brett had done the little like crazy hairdo on top and they brought in the like German techno music. So I saw this video that just said like the Flirt and Floss. I'm like, what in the world? And so I clicked on it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be the most epic thing like I've ever seen from Brett and Christian. And like you just see him dancing to this techno music. And then later on they actually had the dance off where the fans could actually get on there and they could dance with him and stuff. So yeah, I saw all of that.
And I think too the best part also was the video of Brett's family. It was like, oh, come in here, Daddy has something, and then he was like, and his daughter's like,
Daddy, no,
yeah, that was really good.
That whole week was a blessing in disguise. Not just that one episode, but that whole week, because it all started with a donation thing that Harloff shaved his head, and he's like, if we get to 1,000, I'm going to show it to everybody.
Yeah,
and
that was a great moment.
Dropping hundreds of dollars every minute,
yeah.
And then he just showed the whole thing, and then he said, okay, if we get to 1,500, you got to shave your head, and somehow it came out organically through the show. And then the following day, I had a shitty day, and I at work, and I came back, and it was just that episode just revitalized my will to live at that moment.
And then you have Video Drew as well saying, when you finally shave off the tuft, I want it.
Give it to me.
Yep. Yeah,
And then they showed up on Mark Riley's show, and they have all the fans coming in and dancing with them.
Yep.
And then like every Schmodown personality ended up like having people in the comment section yelling the flirt and floss, and Roxy was like, "What is going on? What is the flirt and floss?"
Yeah, it definitely was a phenomenon.
I sent one to Campia. Ben, you remember this, right? I sent one to Campia as the flirt and floss.
Yes,
I remember that.
And
Campia was like, he's like, "What the hell is this? The flirt and floss?"
I literally wrote. Listen. I literally wrote. How could you not have heard of my name? I am the biggest musical sensation in the world since music began. And he was like, anyway.
Yeah, he's like, whatever, okay.
Like he does.
That's awesome.
Like he did with Win a Goldfish here.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
next.
Okay.
Yep, and because of that, they actually went viral on Twitter too. I think they're like top 30 or
26.
something like that. Oh yeah, 26. Yeah. Yeah,
Matt,
crazy.
The best thing to come out of SEN Live.
Yeah, Matt, I'm feeling kind of sorry for you that you stopped watching at that point, because when the whole COVID thing happened, I think the last episode they did in the studio with everybody was with Corey Feldman from Double Toasted. I think that was the last episode.
That.
Everyone
That was
was
an amazing
there,
episode.
and
Amazing.
like the week after, they announced that they couldn't do the show, and it was just going to be Christian and Brett doing the show, and it was like I was just so depressed, and it was just so sad. I was like, okay, fine, I'll watch SEN, but I mean, I doubt that it can get me out of this bad situation that I'm in. And it was the infamous "You Don't Know Shit" episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
That episode single-handedly saved the lockdown for me.
Huh.
You don't know shit.
Yep, exactly. Just like back and forth, and they were like crying, laughing when they were doing
Yeah,
it.
It was
I
like,
don't know what it was.
15 minutes of this.
It was too much for me. Just the two of them. I don't get it. It just was. I missed having the group.
Right.
I love having the group too, but I mean, I love having the group too. But the few weeks of it was just two of them. Some of the best stuff in SEN history came out of that, like Professor Crow, for example.
Yeah, and I'm not doubting that. It's just now I haven't gone back to announce this because I'm finding I don't have enough time in the day to watch all this.
Right.
Okay.
Very few things I watch now.
If you haven't watched it then, it's not gonna mean too much to you now.
Well, like I said, I'm still in the SEN group. I do follow all these guys on Twitter. I do see the highlights, so I'm aware of what's going on, but I just haven't had the chance to watch a full episode just because I don't have the time.
I feel that's me too. Like, I sometimes watch it when I can, but I've fallen off too because it's just so many people have so much content out that like just being able to watch it all at the same time, like just
Yeah,
embarrassment of riches.
Pretty much.
Yeah, like I used to have like a huge list I used to watch like literally religiously, and now I've narrowed it down to basically like my top 3. So I watch every single Schmodown match. I always watch Collider Live, and then I'm really big on the action guys lately. That's just me. So I watch all their content. So that's it. Besides that, I have no time for anything else.
I never miss a Blurs in the Hood. I always watch. Those are the ones that I watch religiously.
For me, it's Strong Style with Roca and Aaron Turner. That's the one I watch. All right, Peggy.
Great, another Roca show.
What's your number 3? And you're muted again.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, Peggy. If you can hear me, please follow my voice.
No, I'm the worst with that. Ask anybody in the fucking community.
You're the Roxy of the show.
Basically. Okay, so I switched my 3 to my 4. Okay, so my 4 is Brett Sheridan. He got a tweet from somebody, and he replied saying something was an amazing feat, and he spelled it FEET. And the person corrected him saying, you mean FEAT. And he went on like a 5-minute rant about like, you know what I meant? You know exactly what I meant. Why you gotta call me out on this shit? And I thought it was fucking fantastic because he did the whole thing. He took one breath and then he just went for like 2.5 minutes without taking another breath. I swear to God.
And the best part of that too, it was when he put up the other guy's tweet and then he corrected all of his punctuation, all of his spelling mistakes, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
he had a whole bunch of them in his own tweet.
And the funny thing was, Alice like called it right away, even before Brett got to the joke that he was intending to do. And I've been that person before. Be like, you missed that, and no, you're ruining the whole thing. Like, I completely identified with Mark Ellis on that one.
Yeah, definitely another example of why Brett is a national treasure.
Yeah. If you mess with a sniper, you get sniped.
Exactly.
I wish you gave me the episode number or whatever, but I was just watching highlights, and that one cracked me up.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch that because I think that happened after I kind of stopped regularly watching.
Yeah, I was just watching highlight reels. So.
Yeah, hey, that's that's sometimes the best thing to do. Like a couple years ago, there was something going on at work, so I was in a shipping container of my own.
You were in a shipping container?
We had to put a shipping container across the street in our warehouse so we could have contractors come in to pay for stuff. It was this whole thing because they were tearing up concrete. Anyways, I was in there by myself, and I would go sometimes 2 hours between customers. So I actually caught up on a bunch of old Schmoes Know episodes.
Gotcha.
So I hear you. Yeah. All right, 50. What's your number 3?
Okay, my number 3 was originally going to be the Zaflet and Flaus reveal, but then Bane made me change it, and fortunately for me, Saul actually covered that checklist. So I changed mine to, it was a conversation with Makuga, Harloff, and Riley and Roxy on Collider Live. I think they were talking about the Jurassic World short film that happened.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was this year or the previous year when that short happened, but they were just, no, my bad. They were talking about Sam Neill and Laura Dern returning to Jurassic World 3. And somehow, because it was Collider Live, it sort of transitioned into a conversation about, are you going to eat a dinosaur? And of course, Roxy said yes. And Christian was like, no, how are you going to do that? And then the conversation just got weirder and weirder as they went along. And then just Cody, being Cody, played the intro music. And he usually does that to kind of get him going, hey guys, stop talking, let's move on to a different topic. And they just ignored him. They kept talking, and he was like, he played it over and over again, and and Makuga and Riley just lost their minds, and then Riley just go, all right, you know what? Fuck it. I can't believe I'm saying this, Cody. Play fucking Zoobly Zoo. And he plays Zoobly Zoo, you see Riley going like this. and then it's like, I think Roxy said, well, why didn't you ask him to play Where's Rodney? So then he goes, where's Rodney? And you see Riley going like, where's Rodney?
I forgot about that. Where's Rodney?
Yeah.
I also made a video about that. I'll send it to you after the show.
Damn right.
That's cool. Nice.
Okay, so my number 2 is Josh Makuga getting scared by the Us people.
That's my number. That's my number 2 too.
Yeah, is that one you watched, Peggy?
I'm sorry. Repeat that.
Did you watch Josh Makuga getting scared by the Us people?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
That's my number 2 because goddamn, I showed that to everybody.
Me too.
Yeah, just sitting behind Roxy, just throwing shit at her.
It was funny, but it wasn't an original concept. But I didn't expect Makuga to be that much of a wuss, if you'll apologize.
He's legitimately that much of a wuss. He's afraid of a rat's shadow.
Yeah,
I want to go to a horror movie with Makuga. I'm a wimp myself when it comes to horror movies, but I think I would enjoy the moment if I went.
According to Ellis, it's a big mistake. He said he's never seen Makuga again in a horror movie after it.
So back in the day when we used to do Collider behind the scenes when Perry Nemiroff hosted that she actually had one where she was going around asking people what their biggest fears were, and it kept cutting to Makuga over and over and over. It's I don't like birds. I don't like the way that they look at me. I don't like the dark. I don't like squirrels with the little beady eyes. I don't like. He's just naming all this stuff over and over, and it keeps cutting to him. And he has about 20 things. He's just freaking totally terrified of it. And they're all real.
I was just reminded of something.
Yeah.
I was just reminded of something that I didn't put down on my list, and that was Christian's fight against the squirrels.
Yes.
Yeah. That one almost
now
made
that you just mentioned.
Not the possums. I remember the possums.
Every time I see a squirrel, I think of Christian Harloff now.
Yep. Seriously.
I was
I don't think I saw that one.
When I was in college, we had a bunch of squirrels at my college. And so one time I saw these 2 squirrels running around a tree, and then one of them bit the other's tail off.
Oh,
Ooh.
Like I
No,
saw two
gruesome.
squirrels get into a fight like that. It was
that escalated quickly.
Oh.
Wow.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
What do you guys think would be Makuga's Bogart if he ever encounters one?
Oh, fuck.
What?
Yeah.
It's a
Bogart from
Harry
the
Potter.
Harry Potter
Yeah.
movies.
Harry Potter.
shows your most
This
feared
is
thing.
why I'm not an Energatum competitor.
I don't know.
I'm
That's
dying to
tough.
see Makuga trying to face a Bogart because he wouldn't
It
just
would
go
be
ridiculous.
a dark shadow. It would be a dark shadow.
It would be everything. Literally
Yeah.
everything.
That's a good question to send into the afternoons when they're recording. See if he'd answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing is, he wouldn't actually try to battle it or just say go ridiculous. He'd just run away.
Oh, yeah.
He wouldn't face the Bogart.
Sorry.
Packard's lost?
Yep.
Oh. Sorry,
Hey,
Dan.
Levy.
Spoiler alert.
But yeah, and the way Makuga screams too, it just like screams bloody murder like a little girl. Yeah. Yeah, right. Yep.
And we lost her again.
Makuga knows we're laughing at him right now.
I'm sure he's fine with it. Okay, Ben,
Yeah.
what's your number 2?
Same as yours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jordan, you're number 2.
Yeah.
All right. So my number 2 is actually, and I'm wondering how much of you guys have actually seen this one, but they made a little kind of like fake movie trailer for JT called The Rise and Fall of Little Evil.
Yes.
And that is like one of the greatest things ever because it talks about when he supposedly cheated in the early days of the Schmoes Know. Then it talks about him
Karma, bitch.
joining the Jeff Snyder and like all the different heel moments, but also how he mispronounces things. Like he's almost just like this little kid who rose to greatness. Then he had a big fall, and then he's slowly making his way back up. But just like all the things that people say, they're like Little Evil was a hero that we never knew that we all needed, but the hero that we all deserve. And like you can see like little moments of like interviewing like Mark Ellis and Mark Riley, and they're like tearing up and stuff, just like talking about JTE. And then you see JTE being interviewed, and like just the way that he just like strings together sentences, and the way that he like tries to talk about himself, and like how great and awesome he actually is. It's just like you have to kind of see it to really experience it. I couldn't do it justice, but like just the way that he just like strings everything together, and like he's so cocky and high on himself, but yet he's just comedy. Like he just opens his mouth and he's like pure comedy, just whatever he says. I mean, it's just amazing. Yeah.
This is about trial and error, and my client being on trial is an error.
Yeah.
It's an error. Yeah.
Trial of JT.
I'm a firm believer of trial and error. And I believe my client is on trial.
It's an
It's an
error.
error.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the moment that made me love Dolphin stuff.
And also too, in the Rise and Fall of Little Evil too, you have Ken Knapsack narrating it, and then like randomly in the middle, he just goes on to like a 1.5-minute synopsis of the movie Kangaroo Jack, and you see all these clips from Kangaroo Jack for like randomly for no reason. You're like, okay, but it's just like so funny because it's so random and out of place. So yeah.
Kidding. Yeah, like we're making gold.
Little Evil. And
Yep.
boy was evil. I guess he was little.
Nah.
Yeah, she got the quotes down 50. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Saul.
Boom.
Number 2.
Sitting on the bus, now you know, now
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, you two of my friends. Now you know. Now you
now
know.
you know.
Okay, the animated videos that came out of that were genius.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And I love
So,
when they played it over the intro music and they just had that instead of intro
Yeah.
music.
but yeah, the animated part, when they made the animated part and put that out on YouTube,
I sanitize
Yeah.
my legs. I sanitize my caps. I sanitize you. Now you
now
know.
you know, now you know.
I started answering the phone to people with "Now you know." How you doing? Now you know. And I'm
You know.
being in character, and was like, "What is going on with this
So
lunatic?"
annoying. Honestly, one of the most annoying parts of SEN to me.
Really?
Honestly,
That.
I'm so sorry, Lex.
Oh,
that is the most annoying part of it.
yeah.
I have to agree with Peggy on that one.
Yeah.
They made a T-shirt.
Yeah,
That is
That's
my
what it is.
no. They made a T-shirt for sale that is mocking someone who just voiced their opinion as a fan of the show. If I was that person that I put that Schmobot in or whatever it was, and they started making T-shirts making fun of me, I would be done with the Schmodown. I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
I don't like that T-shirt at all. At all.
We gotta kind of have thick skin, you gotta know that's what goes on. They're gonna razz the fans. They're gonna razz each other.
You come on SEN, you gotta know what you're
Back the truck up. You
With the show, I thought the
you
show part
donate
was
$20
okay.
or whatever it is to the show, and then they start selling T-shirts making fun of you. I'm sorry.
He didn't donate $20. He was in the comment section.
Yeah.
He just randomly showed up because they didn't talk about the movie news stuff. It was like
The part with the show, like when,
but it's still a T-shirt mocking somebody. It's not cool.
With the show part, when they were like, "Oh, goes like this isn't the show," like the whole part of the show, I was fine with that. It was when they got to the making the shirt of it, which, hey, you know what? Make your money the way you want to make your money. But that part I didn't like was the making the shirt.
My thing is just when they beat a dead horse too long.
Yes, that as well.
I don't think that.
For me, very frankly, I'd be honored just because it's like I support the show.
That
and they're
person
making
probably
fun of
didn't
me.
even know.
You'd be honored to
And I
have
know
someone.
that's the whole entire vibe of the show to give each other crap. I feel like one of their like best friends on the show. Hey, now they're giving me crap just the way that they do each other. You know, I'd be like yes, I'm part of it. You know,
it's like they made him a character on the show.
Really?
Yeah.
You would enjoy that?
Yeah, like I'd be so down for it. Like I don't mind people making fun of me. Like
I thought it was rude as
it.
fuck, and I thought it was poor form of Christian to make a fucking T-shirt out of it, and especially put what's the Walking Dead company that's not behind Schmodown?
Skybound.
Thank you. I think it was poor form to put them behind it as well.
I will say though, the Matthew Reed song was amazing. As much as I did not like them making the shirt, that song was like a banger.
Yes, I love that song.
But I have to agree with Peggy on that one. Like I'm with you on there.
Yeah. Speaking of things that are annoying on the show that I just don't totally get, the thing I don't get is Daddy's having trouble. Call an ambulance. Like I do not
Daddy
get
boy,
that. I don't think it's funny. Like the way that they make fun of
Someone
like,
could have
Roxy
legitimately
to death
died.
over and over and over again. Like I think that's just like the beating a dead horse kind of thing. I never thought it was funny from the beginning, and I'm just kind of like what is this?
It was funny at first.
I don't
it was
even get
funny for one show, and then every time Roxy came on, they did the same thing. And then anytime someone new would come on, they'd be like, "Do you think this is a man or a woman?" And like so, basically to make fun of Roxy every single time.
Yeah.
So like, what is it though? Like
it's an inside joke. It's like
what does it mean? I don't know what it means. I don't get it. What does it mean?
Nobody cares.
Yeah,
exactly.
It was funny the first time.
I think Christian knows what it means. It's just some random.
Hey, I'm gonna pull a Cody Hall here and let's get the show back on track.
Right.
Okay. Insert fart noise here.
Yeah.
We still love you, Christian, and like whole crew. Like we just just have fun and talk.
All right. What's your number 2, Peggy?
Oh, my number 2. Hang on a second. Hang on. I gotta look it up. Make sure I get the right one on my phone. Okay. My number 2 was when Michael Rappaport was on the show ripping King Kong.
Yes. I love Michael.
That was on Movie Talk.
Was it Movie Talk?
It was Movie Talk.
Does that not count?
No. I specifically asked.
Well, we can let it slide this time.
I have a safety pick if that doesn't count.
Okay.
My safety pick was.
I don't fuck with Godzilla. I don't fuck with Spider-Man.
No, that is like I'll be in the movie if you want me to be. But fuck this shit.
All respect to people who do. I'm glad this movie's working. I'm glad this movie's making money.
It cracked me up.
Your safety.
Then, okay, does the decision count then?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, then that's my number 2.
Okay.
My number 2.
Showdown thing, but
I love Clark Wolf. I love the Shire Wolves.
Amen.
But I like Clark Wolf is probably the most underappreciated Schmodown contestant that I've granted, I told you I've only been watching this shit. I've tried to backtrack as much as I can, but that woman knows her shit. And then all respect to Rachel Cushing. Rachel Cushing's one of the goats. She should be on the fucking Schmodown, like Mount Rushmore or whatever. Yes. But Clark Wolf's talent and knowledge is so underappreciated. Even as much as it is appreciated, it's underappreciated. Mm-hmm. She's amazing.
Enough.
She's amazing, and the whole fact that the Wolves of Steel was formed and the Patriots were formed, that was a great moment. That's my number 2.
That was the very first wrestling storyline they introduced into the Schmodown.
Yeah, and they made it like a huge moment. I wish they would do more
Because
big moments like that.
1985, that's how Macho Man Randy Savage picked Miss Elizabeth as his manager. They did all these people trying to recruit him, saying like this is why I think we'd be good together. Then he picked the Miss Elizabeth. It exactly played out the exact same way in the decision.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for them to do more huge moments like that. They need to do it like that. That was one of the coolest things.
Well, don't be surprised if when they get back into the studio that they will.
Yeah, right.
Because I know that they had a lot of plans this year, and COVID kind of like ruined everyone's plans.
Yep.
And so I
Exactly.
can see,
COVID.
so I can see next year like some really awesome storylines happening.
Yeah,
Because I
and
know
also-
like Andrew Guy had some storylines that ended up not happening because COVID, and they
And-
couldn't do it.
Was it COVID or was it the Schmoes
True.
Right.
That
Which
is true.
one?
You have to ask Andrew Guy.
But I mean, like they only had like so much time in their old studio days because they were doing it at Collider like for 1 day a week, right? If
Yeah.
they get
Right.
their own,
They were doing it, I think, on Saturdays.
they'll be able to do all this stuff.
Yep.
Okay, 50. You're number 2.
Okay, here's my number 2, and what I believe to be the definitive best Mark Riley moment.
Ooh.
Okay.
This is not a big fucking deal.
Yep. No, they were making fun of him for his nails. Is that
It
what it was?
just, yeah, they were talking
Yeah.
about his nails, and the funny thing is, they were just talking about
Wolverine nails.
no, not before that. Luke Perry passed away, and they were just having this emotional moment, and where they were just really sad about it. And Christian was like, "Okay, there's no easy way to move on from this, but let's move on." On the moving up, your nails again. What the fuck?
Yep.
He was like, and Riley kept trying to steer the ship back on course, and they just kept mentioning his nails. And Makuga and Harloff was just like a ping pong ball, was just bouncing off weird ideas, and they were calling him Wolverine and stuff, and they just said all these stupid things. And Roxy was like, she was trying to defend him. She was like, you know they're going to make fun of you, right? So why do you do that? And it was just the buildup of all of that, and Riley just went, I didn't think this was a fucking big deal.
And then
This
became a
is not a
soundbite.
big fucking deal. Jesus.
Yeah, I think
End of tomorrow is finally getting a
camera.
fucking sequel.
Yep.
Guillermo del Toro is going to direct a fucking J.J. Abrams movie with... Look at that. I lost my place. What are we talking about? Something like that. And Cody actually made a soundbite out of it. It's sort of like the So Sorry Lex, but it's kind of like something that happened on the show where it happened. It was an embarrassing moment for Riley, but they just went with it. And Cody made a soundbite out of it. They made fun of it, and it's one of the best moments in Collider / Schmo history, and I just love it.
Yeah.
That's a definition. Do you think that's beating a dead horse? I'm curious to know.
It's not, because I don't think it was done all that time. It was usually only used when Riley had something to say. But I think the difference between that and So Sorry Lex is that they were doing it to themselves as opposed to doing it to a fan. I think that's the difference.
All right.
Wait, how is it to themselves?
Because
It was Riley.
because it was Mark Riley who's part of the group.
It's someone who's a part of the show.
Yeah.
But he was legit pissed at that
Oh,
that
for sure.
moment in
And I
time.
don't-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
yeah.
we've all had those moments
Yeah,
where
we laugh
we're like, enough's enough.
Yep.
Right.
Okay, so my number one's already been talked about. It was the drunk movie fights, which I'm probably going to go watch after this. I'm not going to lie. And what is your
Yeah,
number one?
that deserves a rewatch.
My number one has already been talked about as well.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
All right, Jordan, you're number one.
All right, so my number one is a little bit of a cheat, but it's kind of encompasses quite a few things, but I think it deserves a number one. It's just Cody Hall.
Cody Hall.
SEN
Cody Hall.
Live needs Cody Hall or somebody that can do what Cody Hall does, because it is not the same without it. Just all the sound bites, like he's just he's like a masterful DJ back in the booth. He just has all the sound bites perfectly queued up at the exact perfect time. And then when he first started out, they started doing the little fun facts. I don't know if anyone remembers that.
Yeah, I love
they'd
that.
pop up on the screen, and they have the little whiteboard, like we said before, that he would just like raise it up like that, you know. And then he would just like do crazy things. Yeah, like he would zoom in on people's faces, like just at like random times when they're doing awkward, weird things, or he'd put someone up on the screen. Remember one time he had like a really weird kind of like awkward, gruesome looking cat, and he's zooming in back and forth over and over and over again. And then
I remember that.
yeah, and then he would just put like just like the like funniest things up on screen. Even during the Schmoes Know days, there's one time in particular I remember where Christian was having one of his epic rants at the trolls and just going off, and then in the little overlay you just see him write, "Don't come into the store," or no, "Don't come into his store with your underwear off." He just writes that randomly because he's just freaking out, just going and going like just for like 5 minutes straight at the fans. And so like he just like does the most random things, but at the perfect timing though. Like he just has the perfect time, and you can even tell when they would have somebody fill in, it just wasn't Cody Hall. Like they couldn't get that exact timing right. They couldn't do it, and then he would play things like his name is John Cena like over and over. Just like, oh yeah, he was just so good. And I always feel like if I can ever get to it's like any kind of like SEN Collider meet and greet, it's like Cody Hall's the person I want to meet first. That's the guy I'm going to go to first and just like say thank you for all that you did for the show, and you need to be on like more, like you're being underutilized. So yeah,
that's another one.
Oh, good for you.
He deserves to be higher than where he is.
Yeah, he needs to be working like somewhere like in Hollywood, like big time. I feel like he has the talent.
Yeah, very much so. Okay, Saul, you're number one.
My number one goes Party in the Fart Tower, Party in the Fart Tower, Party in the Fart Tower.
I forgot about
it. Party in the Fart Tower.
Who's still in farts in the Fart Tower?
Fart Tower, Fart Tower.
Yeah, that was one of the first songs that I do remember. Yeah.
I recall them playing it again on SEN, but I was never around for the inception of it, so it really doesn't have the same. It doesn't carry the same weight with me.
That's one of the few that actually crossed over to SEN.
Yeah, so actually, one of the times actually on SEN was actually after a comment that I put in. Actually, I can't remember what the comment was. It's been so long ago. I remember that I put into some kind of comment about a fart or something like that, and then it just went off into like an epic fart rant or a fart tower dance for like 5 minutes. Everybody's just dancing. So yeah.
One of these days I want to do a huge playlist of just songs from the SEN stuff and the Collider, and just put Party in the Fart Tower, So Sorry Lex, and The Bagel Boy, all these songs, and just play it to random people just to see what they think about it, to people who've never even watched any of these shows, just to see what they think about it.
And let's not forget No Rhyme, No Reason in there.
Yep.
Motherfucker, motherfucker.
Yeah,
but if you make a playlist like that,
I won't
that
do
50
that.
Shades, you gotta send it to me because I definitely want a playlist like that. I've been trying to find like one spot to get all those sound bites.
Yeah.
All right, Peggy, you're number one.
Mine is a little bit of a cheat, but I do not give a damn. My number one moment is anytime Cal the Schmo Dog was on camera.
May he rest in peace.
May he rest in peace. My job, I work with dogs all day long. That's all I do. And I can just tell from the clips that I saw, Cal was an amazing goddamn dog.
Yeah.
And anytime he was on camera, that's my favorite part. That is my favorite part. I love Molly. I know all the clips I watched of all the old stuff. Molly was never on the Schmoes Know. This stuff that I saw. Yeah. I love Molly too. Don't get me wrong. Molly, you're amazing.
And Leia is also.
And Leia
is an interesting dog.
And I love Piggy Smalls. I'm a big fan of Schmo Dog.
Yes, big fan of Piggy Smalls.
My number one Schmo Dog, or whatever moment is Schmo Dog Pets or Schmoes Pets. That's my number one.
When Cal the super dog died, it reminded me of when the big guy passed away. How just banded together.
Yeah, like it really shows that
like
the community that they've built. Like they really built like that family vibe that like everyone came together. They sent Mark Riley all kinds of like blankets with this picture on, and like mugs and all kinds of crazy, cool tributes. You know, just like like I was really blown away.
I agree with you. I realized Schmoville's not a community. Schmoville's a family.
It is. Yeah.
We look out for each other.
Yep. That's number one reason why I stuck with it for all this time.
I'm very partial to the doggos.
Oh, I love it.
I'm very partial to the doggies.
Did you guys see the moment the crew found out?
No.
Yes.
It was on
No,
Collider
no.
Jedi
It was on
Council.
Collider
I don't
Live.
know if I can handle that.
No, it wasn't live. It was Jedi Council.
I don't know if I can
Was
handle
Jedi
that.
Council?
Did they get a
Yeah,
text
it was
message
Jedi
about it or
Council.
something?
Ken got the text.
No,
they,
it was-
they were talking about it on Collider Live, but it was when they were recording Jedi Council. Cal got the text and he did this face, and Christian's like, "What is it? Bad news?" And Ken's like, "Yeah, I didn't make it." And then that was it.
Oh yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
You see the heartbreak on all their faces.
Dogs are the best.
Oh.
And then after that too, they actually did an episode of Afternoons with Josh and Ken
Yes.
where it was all dedicated to
Cal.
Cal the Schmoes. Yeah.
Yeah, and they did the
Very cool.
Cowboys.
Yep.
Hey, there, buddy.
Yep. Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
My-
that is my number one.
Yeah, I that's a good number one. Yeah, Cal is something special.
Yeah,
It
it
was.
was.
Yeah.
I could, just from seeing clips, I could tell he was a damn good dog. He was a
Yeah.
damn good dog.
Yeah. That's the kind of dog I want when I actually can get into a place that allows dogs.
Yep. That's like one of your like true best friend dogs right there.
Yeah.
The
Mhm.
ride or die.
Yep.
Yep.
Like my girl
dog.
right here.
Yep. Awesome.
Okay, and then on that
My,
song,
my dog Sandy passed away last month.
I'm
dude,
so sorry, FD.
My condolences.
But it's okay.
Sincerely.
She's with me. She's with me wherever I go from now on.
is that
Yeah.
his- the dog tag?
Yeah. No. It's a necklace.
Yeah, but what's on the
Please
necklace?
don't tell me that's ashes. Is that-
Oh,
okay.
my cousin did that with her cat, actually.
I've never understood that. That's just weird to me. But
All
to
right.
each their- everyone has their grieving processes.
That's
It's all
pretty
good.
cool.
I
There,
have a
Cool.
morbidly funny joke, and it's so when my first dog passed away, it goes, we had them do a print of his paw, so like
Yeah.
kind of thing,
Yeah.
and to put his name on it. The one we received was one from a much smaller dog that said Bob on it.
Oh shoot.
Our dog's name was Jack and was a golden retriever that was like 90 pounds. And we got this little piece of shit dog paw print named Bob.
That's
I'm
nice.
sure it was not funny in the moment, but
You're like, what?
Yeah.
kind of funny.
Okay, so
It's very funny in hindsight.
a little insight into myself. I am deathly afraid of anything that's dead. Okay. And my grandparents had this dog that actually started out as my mom's dog. It was called, my mom named her Baby Girl for some stupid reason. She was a little Chihuahua who got really fat and only walked on 3 legs. First time I met her, she shit on my pillow while I was lying down. But no, we loved her so much that when she passed away, it's the only time I've ever been able to touch anything dead. Just like I pet her the one last time, you know?
Yeah.
It was really, really
Sad.
weird. Yeah. What she used to do is when you'd be sitting on the couch and you'd be petting her and you'd stop, she'd look at you and then she'd
Why
take her
don't
paw,
you
she'd
stop?
hit you in the hand. Yeah.
My dog did that as well.
Yeah.
It's like a cruel joke that God plays on all of us, where like dogs only live 10 to 15 years or so,
Yeah.
but like humans live like so much longer. So you're gonna see your pet pass away at some point. It's just like,
Yeah, I never grew up with any dogs because I live in the same building as my parents and we're not allowed animals in here. But so my grandparents' dogs were my dogs in a sense. So yeah, I can't wait to see them all again.
yeah.
And on that note, 50, what's your number one?
On that
My
somber
number one is a bit of a no-brainer, but it's not well. It is funny, but it's a bit more emotional. It was the one moment from Collider Live. A lot of Collider Live moments I just noticed, but yeah, it was the moment in Collider Live when Christian decided to play one of my videos on the show.
Yes.
It's the soundbite video challenge that I did, and well, needless to say, that video saved my life because I was on the brink of suicide on that particular.
fuck.
Wow.
It was the third time in my life that I was contemplating taking my own life, and because you got to understand, I was in a really, really shitty place. I just had this person come into my life, and he was a con artist, and he kind of, to put it bluntly, he kind of conned me out of all my money that I had at the time. I was this close to living on the streets. I didn't have money to buy food. I didn't have money to buy a chewing gum, and it was just a random video that I decided to do on a whim. One day, just sitting on my couch saying random bullshit into a microphone and putting it on the Collider Live Facebook group. And And within minutes, Christian responded to it, and Dagnino responded to it, and literally the next week, I went up north. I had some surgery related to the thing I did with my hair that I talked about last time I was on the show. So yeah, I was doing this medical procedure, and while I was coming back, I looked at my YouTube feed, and I'm suddenly seeing notifications. People are subscribing to my channel left and right. Like, it was like 30 people, and I was like, what happened? Where did this came from? And then I came back and I just looked at the Facebook group, and it was actually Thrawn 2K5 called me up, and he said, dude, they played your video on the show today. And I was like, what? And even though it was like to midnight and I had work the next morning, I stayed up all night watching that episode, waiting, and it was at the very end of the episode, but it was like, I was blown away because I've been following these people for years now. They've made me laugh every time, and that was my turn to make them laugh, and it literally changed my life, and it gave me reason to keep on going, and purpose. It gave purpose back to my life. Wow. And I most likely wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that one moment. And I believe I actually said that to Christian a number of times, and I will be eternally grateful. And I don't care how many people shit on me because I love to watch SEN or the Schmoes Know. I don't care how much people think that I'm a child for laughing at Christian doing fart noises. I owe this man my life. And yeah, so if someone from the outside watches me enjoying and having fun with the SEN crew, and he thinks I'm weird because I am enjoying this kind of show,
and we're all weird.
I don't care. Yeah.
And again, we're all on the island of misfit toys, buddy. We're all on the island of misfit toys.
One, fuck that guy who conned you, goes, he's an asshole and fuck him. Goes, and two, goes, we're so glad that you're here with us. So
yeah.
And three, goes, who gives a shit? Goes, if people think it's weird that you like something, like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I am 100% that. I've actually been in a similar situation where if I had to move back to my hometown, I probably wouldn't be here either. So, yeah, I on behalf of all of us, I say we're glad you're still around 50 Shades because you're a fucking funny dude.
Yeah, for sure. Like, that was a touching moment. Like, I kind of want to clip that out and put it, like, on the Schmodown page or something, like, or like SEN or something, because, like, I bet that would mean a lot to those guys.
Yeah.
All right.
No, because, like, you never know the effect you have on somebody else. You never know.
Right.
Yeah. And once again, just like you said there, Matt, this whole thing is not a community, it's a family. And we all stick together, whether or not we know about it or not. So,
yeah.
Yeah, that's like the same way with me in movies. Like, why I love watching movies so much. I've been, like had some pretty dark days myself. I've dealt with some depression and stuff too. And like, movies for me are just an escape. And the way that SEN and Collider, all this stuff, they've been able to combine movies into like this just crazy, just super fun family community where there's a lot of humor and just nonsense and all this amazing stuff. To me, has been something pretty special. And movies to me are just an escape, because kind of like music for some people also, like that. That's also a big one for me. It's like they're never really going to let you down very often. I mean, you can always go back to your favorites, and your favorites are always going to be there for you. And when you're sad or you're depressed or you're feeling lonely or whatever it might be, even if you're angry or just whatever, like you can always turn to that kind of stuff, and it's like it's always going to be there to help cheer you up. So.
Yeah.
Do what makes you happy, because life is so short anyways. You got to do what makes you happy.
Yep.
Exactly.
And that's why I don't like the Lex t-shirts.
No.
All right.
Makes sense.
Fair enough. Well, on that note, that sobering note, guys, thank you very much for joining us. This has actually been our longest episode, and I'd say probably our most fun episode.
Yeah.
What's the topic for next week?
So we're going to go with the top 5 comic book sagas that you like. So what saga in a comic book do you like? So that's
all right. Awesome. I'm excited for that one. I got to go back through on my old comic book collection.
Okay, so
I have to go through my collection too.
Luckily, mine's like 5 feet in front of me, so I can.
Yeah, mine's just right over there. So.
Yeah.
I don't own a one, not one.
And on that note, Peggy, thank you very much for joining us, and same with you, 50.
Thank you.
Yeah, way fun.
Where can everybody find you, Peggy?
I am at Peggy B-Ball across all social media, but I am also the host of a show over on Feature Presentation Productions called Fantasy Film Fights, where we draft random film topics fantasy style every week. Next week on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, we are drafting roles that should have been nominated for an Oscar.
Ooh.
So if you've never seen it, tune in. It's
That
many
might
a
be
good.
family girl on. We've had Chance Ellison, we've had Paul Oyama, we've had
cool.
Adam Collins.
Yeah.
So we've had a bunch of people. So if you've never seen
Very
it,
nice.
tune in. It'll be a good one. I promise.
That's one that we get me to tune in.
Yeah.
And 50, as usual, our resident editor-in-chief, where can everybody find you?
Editor-in-chief. Well, you can find me on Twitter and at shades_geek, even though I barely even touch Twitter these days. You can find me on the Facebook group of SEN and Movie Trivia Schmoes. I'm the guy with the stupid Killmonger face that maybe I should change that profile pic. And you can also find me on my YouTube channel, 50 Shades of Geek. I'm doing less content right now because of COVID, obviously, but every now and again I do some Schmoes related stuff. I do some movie and TV show stuff. I do a daily show about Pokemon Go. I do gaming stuff every once in a while. And I recently started doing some stuff on Twitch, if I can ever figure out how that damn thing even works.
Nice.
And to our new co-host, Saul, where can everybody find you?
Right, you can find me on.
Before
sorry.
that, can I say, Saul, you did an awesome job as your first debut episode.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Very much. Thank you.
You're amazing. We're so happy to welcome you back on this show, and I'm so excited to do some editing of these episodes with you on.
For sure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
So,
you're always on. Whenever you want to say be on 50 Shades, you just say the word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, and I got someone new to talk sports with. That's awesome.
Yes.
Because,
Okay, Saul,
Everybody,
where
yeah,
can we find you?
you can find me at SoulGovin on Twitter, and you can find me at soul.k.govin on Instagram because SoulGovin was already taken. So yeah, I have two separate those. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
All right, and Jordan, where can everybody find you?
So I'm not very active on Twitter and Instagram, so I'm just gonna go with my Facebook. You can find me at Jordan Anderson 21 on Facebook, and then I'm also very active in the Media Sweaties Facebook group, and then also I have been revitalizing my old YouTube channel. It's called Movie Hero. We debuted our very first episode of a brand new show. Actually, it's called Tier Ranker Fights. So basically, if you know what a tier ranker is, you can go to tiermaker.com and get an example. But we just rank all of our favorite things. So last week we did the best chain restaurants, and then this next weekend we're gonna be ranking the best video games of all time. We haven't nailed down an actual time because I just barely got my co-host, and so we're trying to work all that out. But it's either going to be on Saturday or Sunday. We're going to put a link out to that. You can come watch us rank some video games.
Right on. And Ben, what about you?
You can find me at Twitter at BenRated2 on Media Sweaties Facebook page. You can find me on my Schmoes show, Matt Schmoes every Saturday. And you can find me at Matt every Tuesday night on Shooting the Breeze. If we just have a guest, we shoot the breeze for an hour.
Damn straight. And you can find me at Twitter and Instagram at soda_the_saxman. You can find me, like Ben said, every Thursday on Shooting the Breeze. You can find me here every Sunday. And then you can also find me on my other channel, Schmoes of the North, with my buddies Dave, Daniel, and Lou, where every week we break down what happened in the week of Schmoedown. And then every once in a blue moon, we will drop some conversations with the people in the Schmoedown community called Northern Consultations. What one just dropped? So we just dropped our Liz Shannon Miller interview. And then I honestly couldn't remember what the next one is. So definitely check those out. It's a great time. It's really great to get to know these Schmoedown competitors. It's been a lot of fun. So on that note, thank you for those of us 8 watching. Thank you very much for bearing with us for 3 hours.
Yeah, right.
We will definitely see you on the flip side. See you guys next time.
Stay sweaty.
Stay sweaty.
Bears.
Stay sweaty, folks.